It's the weekend.
Warriors, Warriors, come to play.
Yeah, here we go.
Good Saturday morning, everybody. We are broadcasting live from the Weekend Warriors studios in beautiful Peoria, Arizona. I'm Ralph Romano, alongside my partner in crime. We have the legend, Neil Lynch, and the legendary Philip Amrine. And this is the Weekend Warriors.
Hey, everybody. It's good to be back. I know you missed me last week, although Luke is a sufficient substitute. And he's
a master fill-in.
He's okay. So anyway, we want to hear from you. We love each other in ways that you could possibly not imagine, but ultimately, we want you to be a part of our world.
Can we talk about this?
Yeah. Hey, clean this up, Ralph.
All right. So if you want to get involved, hit us up in the comment sections of the live streams. That's X, that's YouTube, that's the Book of Faces, or we have our own very special Weekend Warriors text line. That's 866-412-6366. Again, if you're not watching and can't read, 866-412-6366. Hey, get involved.
If you forget a 6, just add one.
Add one.
666.
All right. All right. This was a busy week in sports.
Yes, it
Oh
was.
my gosh.
Yeah, for a non-busy day today, the week that was certainly was filled to the brim.
Isn't Army Navy today?
Yeah, it is.
Army Navy.
Oh, that's
In
right.
Baltimore.
It was a replay. Yeah.
No, Army Navy. What time is it?
10 o'clock, I think.
I just listen. Oh, it's
Right
right
now?
now.
I think
I
right
just
now.
like the pomp and circumstance. I like the prisoner transfer that they always do, like because they have Navy.
Prisoner transfer.
Well, that's what they call it, right? They have students that study in the others group, like they have some like a transfer or a cross functional whatever cross training program.
Oh, I thought they got rid of that in the military.
That's cross dressing, not cross training.
Okay. I knew
So
this.
so that what they do is the ceremony is at the Army Navy game. They bring him to the center of the field and they do a prisoner transfer, and the Army people go back to the Army side and the Navy people who are in the program go back to it. It's kind of cool.
See, how cool would it be if they brought terrorists onto the field and they executed them at the 50-yard line? All right. Anyway,
What kind of show is this? What in the hell?
I'm starting the show right here. This is where we're going to start. This is for Phil. Dodger fans,
You want to start by closing it?
we are going to be hearing this a whole lot next year.
That's right. As long as he doesn't get injured.
Start it by closing it. I like that. That was good. So big news for the Dodgers. Bad news for everybody else. The Dodgers signed Edwin Díaz to a 3-year, $69 million contract
69 giggity.
to be their closer next year. Let me remind you of his season that he just had with the Mets.
Please tell us.
1.63 ERA, 98 Ks and 66 and a third, 28 saves. Absolutely elite.
For a team that
The
didn't
Mets.
make the playoffs.
Absolutely elite. Phil, as the non-Dodger fan here, what does this do for you?
Not a lot. I mean,
Does it aggravate you?
does it aggravate me?
Mhm.
No. I think it's another high-profile close. I mean, you've now got a bullpen of options. I think Diaz certainly will be your go-to guy. I think you're paying him far too much to not use him on the chance that he doesn't do well, on the chance that he's not performing up to snuff. I
Don't
think
see that happening though. Okay,
Well, I mean,
he's been pretty solid.
he's been pretty solid. I do think injuries are a concern, and especially with the Dodgers organization, you know that if injuries are a concern, that they are going to sparingly use him. So I don't think this is this is, as with most things Dodgers, this is not a regular season acquisition. This is a postseason acquisition upon which you just shore up the entire repertoire of the pitching staff as a whole, and it just becomes 27 outs.
How do you feel if you're Tanner Scott? How do you feel right now?
He's being traded.
No, I don't think he is.
They've
I don't-
got too much money in that. That's a $72 million contract they got to deal with. And
Yeah,
he's got, what, 3 years left on it?
I think, again, I think what's going to happen is Tanner Scott will be there, and I think he'll have a better year. He had a bad year Relievers can have an off year. So let's just hope that was an off year. And he was hurt.
Agreed. And he's got time to fix it now.
Tanner Scott's a stud. He just had it off year, right? So same with Trinan. Trinan's not going anywhere. Trinan had an off year. He's coming off a surgery. He could be better too. So I want think about that, Neil. You could have Trinan and Tanner Scott in your setup roles with Diaz coming in behind him to close the door. Holy moly.
Well, I think the thing is you have options now. You don't always, obviously, if you bring in Diaz in what they call the high leverage situations, right? When it's actually a save, but you can bring Tanner Scott in to close up a game that's not a save situation. I mean,
that's right.
Again, assuming the big wild card here is can they stay injury free or work through injuries or not be sidelined too long by injuries? Because that's going to be the big problem.
You know what I loved is they asked him, why'd you pick the Dodgers? And it was a great answer.
And he said, because of Ralph Romano.
He did. He said, why wouldn't I? Ralph Romano is the biggest fan. I need to have his love. No, what he said was,
wow,
it's a winning organization and I want to win. He basically said it wasn't a hard decision. I like hearing that.
And then, of course, Dodgers president of baseball operation, Andrew Friedman, referred to the man as Sugar. That's his nickname. That is his nickname.
Yeah.
Yes. He said, for us, we have a high bar. To name someone the closer, you have to be one of the best. You have to be elite and dominant at what you do. Sugar is that.
And I think the fun part of all this, because I was having fun this week just watching all the social media, was the minute after this happened and everybody started freaking out, right? Oh, here we go again, right? Well, Dodgers getting themselves better. Well, that's what they're supposed to do. They had a weakness and they fixed it. Go ahead.
And also, this is something that I should foreshadow. It's not just about the winning organization. One more just feather in the cap of the Dodgers organization is, did you know that last year the Dodgers employed Diaz's younger brother?
Yes.
Alexis. And then Diaz was like, he attributed it, he told me great things about the Dodgers and helped sway him to LA. And then also that they brought out Kike to talk to him and everything. These are the steps that you do when you are a championship winning organization. These are the things. I mean, you look at even across sports, you look at the Knicks, say what you will, but the moment that they became a respectable organization, what did they do? They hired Jalen Brunson's dad to be a part of the coaching staff. I mean, it's just foreshadowing, forecasting, and seeing where the chips are going to be, where you are most opportune to strike, where you are going to be needing that next little bit of help, and laying the groundwork for these things to happen. These things just don't just happen. These aren't the Yankees of yesteryear where it was just like, we'll just pay you and that's all we need. No. You need to go out and forecast and be able to predict where the pieces are going to be so you can pick them up.
That's a good point. So everyone, I mean, all the haters can go pound sand at this point, but here's my thing.
Yes.
The Yankees have been considered the model, the franchise, right? The franchise that everybody aspires to be.
Yeah.
And for good reason,
Their
right?
heritage program.
It's heritage program, legacy program. But this is the kind of stuff that I would have expected the Yankees to excel at, right? And they don't anymore. Maybe they used to at one point in the days of George Steinbrenner, or maybe things change, whatever the case is. But this is a classic example of the Dodgers organization is the model now for Major League Baseball.
It is.
Everybody should be fine. Instead of whining and complaining and moaning and griping about anything too much money. You know what? You know why these owners won't do it is because they don't want to put in the work or the effort to develop a quality franchise. It's not a secret what the Dodgers are doing. Like you said, personal touch, culture, organizational excellence, resources, the training facilities, development, right? Analytics. Like every team can do the exact same thing. They all use the same set of vendors, people. You know that, right? They all have access and the ability to have the same amount of technology and training and resources available to make themselves to copy the Dodgers. And most professional sports leagues are copycat leagues anyway. Why aren't they doing it? It's so dumb.
Here, we got to go to the text line.
Oh, here it comes.
Scott Engel, the king,
Ooh.
is on the text line.
So
So if you don't know Scott, obviously the fantasy football guru, the betting guru, the guy that we used to have on our show a lot last year, and we should actually have had him on today. I should have thought of that. But he says, you cannot have Mr. Met, though, Ralph. Now, I heard Mr. Met was on the block. He was going to get traded.
Oh, I heard this is happening. I did see an AI generated meme of him signing with. We can't have Mr. Met. Scott, you're right. I will concede that. But okay, so can we talk about that now, or should we wait on that?
The Dodgers are the new evil empire. Yankees were the team of the previous century, which is very true.
Yeah, I agree.
But and Scott, I'm glad you're listening and you're on, because we're going to have a question for you. I don't want to cut Neil off, but we want to know what the heck is going on in New York.
Yeah, exactly.
What's up with this fire sale that the Mets got going on? It doesn't make sense. Is your owner, who's a billionaire, is he have like buyer's remorse from Soto and he doesn't want to spend all the money now, so he's getting rid of everybody? What's going on? Do you guys have an opinion?
There is a certain perception happening with their. It seems like their ambivalent attitude of losing Diaz and losing Pete Alonso. Arguably, those were two core pieces of their franchise.
Yeah, absolutely.
Their identity as a team. Funny, we didn't mention Juan Soto in there as part of their identity. Well, it's going to have to be now, because you invest a lot of money in that guy. So you better get your money's worth out of it. So what kind of culture do you build around Juan Soto at this point? I don't know.
Well, they did sign Devin Williams, same age. So you have that. And also he's in New York. So you have I know. Ralph's
come on, man.
Like
Devin Williams?
You
want to compare him to Diaz?
It's a comparable contract.
Oh, my gosh. He's got $50 million instead of 70.
Got 4.79 ERA.
The second they signed him was almost a slap in the face to Diaz, where Diaz is like, all right, you can have him. I'm out. I'm going to go for a real team that wins. I'm going to go get some rings, because he's going to now.
It's close.
He's got some rings coming.
I mean, the Dodgers for
he's already married, though. These
rings are better than that ring.
He's got three better.
They're way better.
He's got 3 kids, man. Which he brought to the stadium, by the way. I love. Sorry, side quest here. I do love all the social media pics of Edwin Díaz bringing his family and his little kids out there on the field and stuff. So yeah, I didn't realize he had kids. He had a family guy.
He is a great fit in LA. He's going to love LA, just the whole culture that they have in LA and just what they've got going on. He's the perfect fit.
Dodgers fan base is going to eat those trumpets up. Like everybody's just going to go wild.
Oh, it's going to be nuts. Because think about it, they already have trumpets in the stands, all the mariachis and all that. This is just going to go next level for this guy. It's going to be phenomenal. And Mr. Met should come join the party.
You would have thought with a dome that big, he would have foreshadowed and thought of a better way to avoid that later.
But Scott, I'm serious. If you could put it together, Scott, I want to know what's going on in New York. You're there. You're listening to it. I know you're talking to all the Met guys and stuff. What the heck is happening in New York?
There does seem to be an exodus.
So here's my question. Okay, so I think this is this could be a Kalshi or whatever bet on the open market. It won't be on FanDuel or DraftKings, but how soon will the Dodgers have Timmy Trumpet be live playing Narco? That's what I want to know.
Game 1.
You think game 1?
Game 1.
Yeah.
What if they don't? What if it doesn't come in game 1?
Oh, he'll come.
What if they win by? What if they're ahead by 10 runs?
I will purposely pull my pitcher in the 8th inning to bring him in for the 9th, just to have that guy play his trumpet, just to get it going.
Can you imagine? I mean, and if anybody's going to have Timmy, now it was cool when the Mets did it for sure.
It was cool,
but as soon as I guarantee you, the Dodgers and LA and the entertainment stuff, they're going to have him. I mean, they're going to have him alongside not Snoop Dogg. I mean, maybe, but Ice Cube. Him and Ice Cube. Can you imagine
Ice Cube,
collab?
Ice Cube has a very good trumpet.
Wow.
Wow. It runs so deep that it puts her butt to sleep. Is that how the song goes?
I believe that is. Yeah.
Yes.
So this all leads to I don't really want to get into the Terry Skubal thing too much, because as soon as that rumor came out, everybody lost their minds, right? Oh my gosh, Skubal's going to be a Dodger. What's going on here? Everybody just starts losing it on the line. It was hilarious to listen to. But I still think there's a really good chance that's going to happen. I really do.
And even if it doesn't, Tarek Skubal's going to get his bag from this, right? It doesn't matter. Ultimately,
he'll get his bag.
He's going to make his money with somebody, and he's a competitor. I mean, who wouldn't want to be with the Dodgers? But listen, I'm sorry to tell you this, but just because the Dodgers can doesn't mean they will or they should.
You saying this to Ralph, or are you saying this to the fan base?
I'm looking at the camera when I say this. Okay. I'm talking to the fan base. Well, I'm not Ralph. Ralph already knows. Ralph and I are in agreement on this. Just because they can doesn't mean they should. So I'm telling you, just because the Dodgers could theoretically, hypothetically get Tarek Skubal, number one, they may not want him for some reason that we don't know about. Second of all, he may not want to go there for some reason. Neil, this isn't. We're not
even buying that.
This isn't forced. I'm just saying this isn't forced labor. My point is more of a higher level point.
And also, Neil,
this is not forced labor.
This is so disingenuous of you.
It's not disingenuous at all.
The moment Skubal's here, the number one Skubal fan and shirt will be Skubal's out for the win.
It's a great name.
You're giving me ideas. That's for
great
sure.
Name.
Now, if he signs with the Dodgers, when he signs with whatever the case is, when he signs with the Dodgers, it's because he wanted to be there, and they made a deal that was attractive. Yeah.
Sure. If you want to win a ring, where do you go?
So there's two conversations in here. One, do we think it's going to happen? I am on the downside of it. I don't think it's going to happen.
There's 60%.
There's that it will.
Yes.
No. There's too much. There's too much noise.
I'm 40%.
I'm 60.
I'd say I am more pessimistic. I'm like 30%. I do not think it's going to happen. Could it happen? Certainly. I mean, the Dodgers are the Dodgers.
Wait. When you say it's not going to happen, are you saying he's not going to leave the Tigers or not going to the Dodgers?
Dodgers.
Okay, because he's definitely leaving the Tigers.
Yeah, I think he could be leaving. I just don't know.
They've got to trade him before the end of the year because they will lose out otherwise. He'll be a free agent.
I think also, I mean, when we're getting to the nitty gritty of it, the threat of a lockout, I think, is going to generate a lot of movement and generate a lot of things to where the rich are going to get richer and those who are selling are going to sell a lot quicker because they want to make sure that they don't get somebody who's even going to be on a contract year next year, possibly, and lose out the opportunity to trade him, and then he just walks away for nothing.
And that's the sticking point with the Dodgers is they want him, but what they said up front is we want to negotiate that extension now.
Yeah.
Because we're not going to give up, because they're probably going to give up, maybe Glass now.
They're probably giving up Glass now in order to do it.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
Emmett Sheehan, which is fine. I'd give up both if I had to. I wouldn't care for a guy like that. You've got so much stuff in the minors. Who cares? You could give both those guys up. Nobody can give what the Dodgers can give for him to make it make sense for the Tigers, which is why I think it will happen personally. But regardless, it has to happen.
Regardless?
It has to happen before the next year. Let me go back. Scott the King is back on the text line. So he's helping us out here.
All right.
He says they're breaking up a core that didn't win anything. This is the plan. We just have to see it work out. The core did not win, so Cohen and Stearns are retooling. Yes, the players lost are emotionally jarring, but we'll see a new product built around Soto and maybe Lindor. Well, Lindor's rumored to be going to the Padres.
Yeah, but I think that's mostly noise, though.
And then he comes back and says the Mets reloaded a few years ago when they won 100 games but blew the division and didn't win a playoff series. Cohen is not paying for a product that does not win. I'm in the minority, but I choose to be patient. You don't lose major stars without pivoting. Okay.
Fair enough. That's a reasonable, nuanced
don't you think
take.
you were kind of close and you had a pretty good core that you could have maybe added a couple pieces to?
They were close to getting into the postseason.
Well, I mean, they added Soto, which I think was fine. I think you overpaid him, but you could have added some more pieces.
Scott brings up a good point.
What's that?
Team chemistry, right?
Yeah,
we've taught the Dodgers have that right now.
Yes.
And there was times this year where I personally questioned, especially in August and early September, if there was a problem with the chemistry in the clubhouse. That is so important. And I think what Scott's alluding to is that this particular group, again, it's the difference between a bunch of star players and players who play well together. It's the difference between an all-star team that doesn't win or the U.S. Olympic team in 1980 that's the right fit for the situation. That's what I think. And I agree with. So I like his take. I hope that the rest of the Mets fans will buy into that and it's okay. It hurts. I understand that. It's like when we got rid of Corey Seager with the Dodgers. Everybody whined and complained about it and they were sad, right? I get it. Or when they let Cody Bellinger go. It's the same thing. But ultimately, I know. But ultimately, I think I agree with Scott. I think that's what this is. I hope that Mets fans can get behind that too. It's the long run. It's being patient. But yeah,
and
I think it's right.
I think with Soto, I think that his personality is such that I think the only way he becomes a leader in that locker room is through time served, right? To where if he's the longest tenured guy on your clubhouse, I think it's that alongside how much he's making that proves him to be a voice in the locker room, as opposed to where the current situation, or I guess now a step back, there are so many pieces in there that have achieved a level of success where the Mets are saying like, this is the most successful we've been in quite a while. And we are the reason for that they are entrenched as those voices that now as they chip away and Soto becomes the lone voice of reason, the lone thing of saying, I know how to win and leading a bunch of guys who have just come in and look to him for leadership. I think that is an easier sell than keeping the core that was already there and to middling results.
Okay.
Speaking of the core,
Sports Girl is on the text line.
Oh, well, let's hear that first, please. Sports Girly.
Here's what's happening in New York. Now, remember, she's from New York.
Is from New York?
Is she from Queens or Brooklyn?
Brooklyn.
She's from Brooklyn, so she's like where my mom's from. So don't mess with her.
Oh, no.
So she's.
I like to mess with her, but nobody else.
Here's what's happening in New York. What we lack in our sports teams, we make up in sass, smarts, and suavitude?
She puts the ass in sass, and let me tell you.
Okay. The bitter Dolphin fans on the text line says Neil is. You don't hear this line. Neil is 100% right. Herb Brooks said, "I'm not looking for the best players. I'm looking for the right players."
That's true.
Amen.
Baseball is one of those where I think you can overachieve from a talent standpoint if the chemistry is there.
And Shannon Stewart's on YouTube, and baseball is over. Yeah, it's never over. There's a lot going on in the offseason, so it's not over. And he says, so Pittsburgh and Miami have the same financial resources and TV deals as the Dodgers, ? I mean, we're not.
Do they?
They have the same
Yeah,
TV
but they
deal?
also have the same. They also have billionaire owners who can spend money if they want to. Do you think that the TV deals and all that restrict the Dodgers from doing things? Do they sit and go, well, we don't have enough of a TV deal? No, they go spend money because that's what you're supposed to do if you want to. What was it? The Minnesota Twins, one of the fan websites was talking about Rocco Baldelli being hired by the Dodgers as a special assistant, which is it's a minor blip. Nobody cares in Dodger land. But what it said to Twins fans, and this was a Twins periodical talking about it, some fans, it said, it'll be weird for Rocco Baldelli to adjust to a franchise that is willing to spend money to win like it's breathing. Like seriously. So they understand. Twins fans understand what's happening. Okay. The TV deals, all that stuff, it ultimately doesn't matter. If you're going to own a major league franchise and you want to be competitive, you have to spend money. Okay. You can't rely on the TV deal. You can't rely. If you do, you're being cheap. So ultimately it's a loaded question. It's begging the question, whatever debate, logical fallacy that's going on there. The fact of the matter is, if you are a major league baseball team owner and you're not willing to spend money, that's on you. Don't blame the Dodgers. Don't use it as your convenient excuse. And by the way, this is the exact same reason that baseball locked out in 1994, because the owners wanted a salary cap and the players said, hell no. And that's why there was a lockout.
So here's Boomer Esiason talking. You did a perfect segue into this for the lockout. Here's his comments about the Dodgers and the lockout.
Now in the deep end, my friend. And if you are not going to be aggressive and going to get your guys, then the Dodgers are just going to buy everybody. And by the way, this is one of the reasons why there's going to be a lockout, because 3/4 of the league are looking at the Dodgers going, what the hell are you guys doing? You're killing us. We can't keep up. There's just no way. It's actually a joke. Now, we all know that you have to stay healthy, just like the Dodgers did. There were many opportunities for the Blue Jays to beat them in the World Series. They didn't do it. This doesn't guarantee anything, but what it does do, it raises the stakes for everybody in Major League Baseball. And for all those small market owners out there, the Cincinnati Reds, the Pittsburgh Pirates, the Tampa Bay Rays, they might as well just fold up shop because they don't have a chance.
So everything is the Dodgers' fault because the Dodgers are doing, as an ownership group, or the right way, going after getting the best possible fits for their culture and organization. Not necessarily the best players. It kind of works out that way sometimes, but the best possible fits to fit in, bring into their culture and make them the team to beat, right? It's the Dodgers' fault. We have to lock out now because we can't let that happen.
The whole small market argument, I'm getting tired of that. It's such a lazy argument. Okay. Again, it doesn't matter whether you're a small market or a big market. You bought a Major League Baseball franchise. You're playing Major League Baseball. Okay. If you want to be competitive, then you need to spend the money to be able to compete. And if you can't spend the money, and the one thing, so I don't have a problem with most of Boomer Esiason's comment, right? I don't think it's that controversial per se. When he said the other teams can't keep up, let's change that. They won't keep up.
Because they don't want to.
That's the problem, because they want to pad their balance sheets. They're like the Pohlads that want to transfer $400 million in real estate debt to the balance sheet of the Twins. And then they wonder why nobody wanted to buy the team. Dumb idiots. Anyway, that's stupid. I just think that this whole argument is ridiculous. Sell the team. Let's hear it. Sell the team. Sell the team.
Sell the team.
I have the shirt on. Sell the team.
I knew we'd get there.
Anyway.
Do you have comments about this?
No.
Nothing?
I mean, it was kind of what I mentioned earlier, where I think that if we're looking functionally at what's going to happen with the lockout, I think it's just going to allow the rich to get richer and those that are going to sell faster. And if we go beyond, as far as like the Dodgers making smart decisions, I think one thing that does make the Dodgers stand out than the stereotypical, we'll just go out and acquire the best talent. Think of like even the Lakers, think of the Yankees of yesteryear, is that when the Dodgers they have such a good core group of guys that whenever they acquire somebody, even if they are to a lesser degree a disgruntled employee, for lack of a better term, if they are somebody who is a problem, I think that they have such a strong core of guys that they will either allow them, it gives them such a benefit to allow them to bring in guys that might have attitude problems and rehabilitate them, whether it be in manner or in behavior, and be able to say, we have a standard here. We have a championship caliber standard, and you are the one who needs to adjust to us, not the other way around. They can hold people accountable to that.
Yeah. I mean, we talked about that last week when Ohtani came in and how they pulled him aside after that one play where he didn't do the leadoff right in the game. And the veterans went up to him and said, you're doing it wrong. Do it like this. And he accepted that. And for him, that was like, wow, this is a great place to be. These guys don't care who I am. They want me to do it a certain way and do it right. I love that. That's why they are who they are.
Exactly.
I think we've beat this to heck.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
I do want to switch because, well, Shannon Stewart's on YouTube and he says, I'd love to hear Neil say right there.
What in what way?
I don't know.
I need more context. I'll do it, but you just got to give me more context, Shannon.
Let's switch to the college football playoffs.
Speaking of
playoffs,
beating it into hell.
Speaking of,
oh my goodness.
Speaking of stuff,
so
I have a big problem.
Okay?
A huge problem.
I got a problem, and you're going to hear about it.
I got a huge problem.
Is it with a bunch of Catholics?
Is this the Festivus for the rest of us?
This isn't the Catholic thing.
This is the airing of the college football differences here.
This is the bias of this committee that they take a 3-loss Alabama team and put them into the college football playoffs.
Okay.
First 3-loss team to ever be placed in the playoffs, ever. Right? Why? I'm sick of this. I'm sick of because they have an A on their helmet that they have to be in the playoffs.
I warned you.
They got destroyed by Georgia in the SEC championship game. They looked pathetic.
So who should have been in the...
Anybody but them.
Like Notre Dame,
you
for
don't
example?
deserve, after you get beat up that bad in a conference championship game, you do not deserve to be in the playoffs. That's ridiculous. That was horrible.
You're cute.
Do you think it's horrible?
No.
I think you're cute too, by the way.
Okay,
but do you think it's horrible?
Wow,
you don't think it's horrible? You think they should be there?
All right, so we have two separate conversations,
We
right?
do have
one will be Notre Dame, and we'll put that to the side.
That's
right?
the side, yes.
That is because realistically,
we're getting to that.
Them being, I know. So them being the first ones out, that's almost who you're arguing for in.
And I'm really
incognito.
not, but yeah,
I know. So that's why you're saying somebody else deserves it. In theory, you're saying Notre Dame. Whatever. Let's table that to the side. More so on its face, Alabama has 3 losses. They probably across all the playoff teams have the single worst loss of the group. I can agree with you on that.
They lost to Florida State. Unranked.
First week.
Doesn't matter. Unranked.
I'm just saying, early in the season, instill a new instill with new leadership that it's not good. There's really no defending it.
It's a bad loss.
But I'm saying that it is at least early on. It's somewhere in the back of your mind where you don't have to fully think about it, but whatever. The third loss that they acquired, though, was in a championship round of what many would consider, if not the top conference, which I would say top two without a doubt. And we've seen that this committee very much does not desire to want to move teams down just because they lost in a championship round. Also, the one thing about that loss is it's a good loss. And the other thing is it's already been vindicated because Alabama beat Georgia earlier in the year. So yes, is it a bad loss in that it looked awful and in that Alabama was unable to move and the ball at all and put up anything real on offense? Because by the time that they did, the game was well in hand. It was a meaningless outpouring of offense. Yes, I completely agree with you there. But you're telling me that a third loss, of which was acquired in a championship game,
I don't care where
is But it matters, right? Like,
why?
It matters.
But they got smoked.
Because in essence, then you're saying that the disqualifying thing is just a third loss. I think that is something that is too far a bridge for me to cross with you. I think a lot of context matters in that it's not. Where I would say is fair is that if you lose to a team 2 out of 3 times, I think that's pretty staining. If you lose to a team 3 times, like that is just all but disqualifying.
Mm-hmm.
And so with the fact that they've beaten Georgia previously, we've seen that. Mm-hmm. We saw that this year. It's not even like we have to reach into the, like last year they were able to beat them. Maybe they can beat them again. No. They already beat them earlier this year. Yes, they lost later in the season to them, but it's something that we'd already seen that has gone just either way. That leads me to believe that depending on where it's played, depending on the circumstances, perhaps there's a way that Alabama can win.
But when you look at their body of work, barely beat unranked Auburn, barely beat unranked South Carolina, barely beat unranked Missouri, right? Lost to unranked Florida State. Come on. This is not a good team.
But they do have some good wins.
What about, and I know what you're gonna say to this, but I mean, Notre Dame, do they deserve to be in? Different story. Maybe overall, yes, I don't know. What about, and you can have the same argument for Texas. Texas was 9-3. Why aren't they in there? Why isn't BYU in there at 11-2?
Because Texas was 9-3 prior to even getting to a championship game.
But I'm just saying,
you cannot hold the extra game. The extra game should be an additive. It should not be that a championship is. The extra game should be an additive. Otherwise, you are disincentivizing teams to take the regular season seriously, because if they strategically allow themselves to lose to their worst opponent and only get 1 loss, that would probably disqualify them from a championship game. Then they would say, oh, let's do that. So that way we don't get the negative of a championship game, which you never want to make a championship game such a negative that you don't want to incentivize teams to play in it. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, they had 2 dominating wins this year. Eastern Illinois.
Yes, but look at their wins. They had a really good Oklahoma win. They had a really good Vanderbilt win. And of course,
they lost to Oklahoma.
They beat
they lost to Oklahoma. 23-21.
Oh, they did. Yes, I'm sorry.
And they're going to lose to Oklahoma in the playoff.
Yeah, Tennessee, Missouri was a fine win. And of course, they beat that very same team.
Win.
No, a fine win. A fine win. So
I think the system's broke. I really do.
I can agree with you.
All right. So, okay.
It needs to change.
So real fast, in a few seconds, Ralph, Mr. Smarty Pants, how do you fix it?
Smarty Pants. I don't know. I think if you're going to allow just these bozos to get into, I'm looking at Alabama as a bozo. If you're going to allow these bozos just to get into every playoff because they play in the SEC, just put the whole SEC in the damn playoff, because they're the best conference and that's just the way it should be.
So go ahead.
I would much rather incentivize good wins versus good losses.
You have to define those. What's a good win? What's a good loss?
Beating the very team that you lost to, that you're saying is a bad loss.
Let's take subjectivity out. Let's do this. Let's put record on it. How about that?
But it's not the same record.
Why?
It's not, because they don't play the same schedule.
I don't care.
You think James Madison, which has a better
No, I'm not talking about the lower level schools. I'm talking about Big Ten,
just ripped
SEC.
on them. That was shade.
SEC.
So you're saying just only have those two
Let's
teams?
Look at the records. Let's have them play a lot of each other, and let's look at the records at the end of the day.
I mean, a lot of people would agree with you on that, but the problem becomes in actuality of like 100+ college programs.
Alabama loses 28-7 in the championship game. Where they drop 1 spot, 2 spots.
They didn't drop at all.
Oh, okay. Even worse. But this is what happens. Alabama can lose to a not ranked team and they barely drop. Other schools can lose to a team that's not ranked and they can drop 10 spots. I've been saying this since the beginning of the year. This is always what happens.
Well,
it's BS.
So
it's bias.
Listen, here's Neil, the voice of reason today, ladies and gentlemen.
I doubt that.
The voice of reason brought to you by Niho. All right. So there was a comment. I watched the Ohio State Indiana game, most of it. Okay. And there was a comment made near the end of the game where
Was it? We're a bunch of guys together. We're glue, and we are the best.
that
hot
guy.
pockets.
Okay,
we're the
so-
best hot
so
pockets that ever
the
were
amount
melted
of-
together.
the
and
amount
we
of
come
eye-
together. Let's go.
the amount of eye contact that guy
Lame.
made with the camera the entire time was disturbing beyond belief. But I'm not talking about that.
Oh my
I'm
God.
glad you brought.
number one overall pick, soon to be Mendoza.
I'm glad you brought that up because that guy was
Love that
guy was
oh,
insane.
yeah, you would.
Love that
Anyway.
guy.
You know who else is going to love that guy is the Raiders because
Love that guy.
He's gonna be just
going
crazy.
to be their guy.
All right. So during the game, the announcers who was ever covering the game, it was Gus Johnson. I love Gus Johnson, by the way. So they were
you're the
talking
one.
about it, and they said, "Yes, I am." So they said basically that the committee would very likely put Indiana at number 3 with this loss because they wanted to make sure that they wouldn't face each other before a semifinal or the finals. And it's like, so right here, people. The whole system is rigged.
Hell yeah.
There is to this point, there is no way to make this objective. There is always going to be subjectivity in this process. And,
Yes.
and whatever system, whatever criteria, whatever formula you use to figure it out, somebody's going to be upset about it. It doesn't matter. The only way that you're going to have an objective system is if everybody plays everybody else once, and at the end of it, you have basically a giant bracket like the NCAA. Every team gets in the bracket and they play all the way through. Well, you can't.
Well, Baker's cocky hen says, and I agree with this. He says, get rid of the fake arse championship games and expand to 24 teams like all the other college divisions already do.
But then people are going to be upset with that.
But I think you're going to get a different level of upset from teams that are getting knocked out in the top 12 versus teams in the top 25.
But then I can argue and say that only the big teams always make it.
I think it is different.
Listen, you're never going to satisfy anybody or everybody with any system. So that's the reality of it, all right?
But
Someone's
you know what
gonna
my
lose out.
problem is? Because it's so limited, I'm sick and tired of watching schools like Alabama get a pass on every loss that they have. Basically, Alabama has just shown you this year they can lose 3 games, possibly 4 games, and still get into the college football playoffs. Nobody else has that luxury, but Alabama does. And that's ridiculous, and it's bias, and it's BS.
So maybe then, based on your criteria, based on your disagreement with the system, maybe it wasn't such a bad thing that Notre Dame said, you know what? Peace out. I'm out of here. If I can't be in the playoffs, I ain't going to a bowl game.
But let's be honest here. The college football playoffs were designed so that all the teams that have a reasonable claim to be the number 1 team in all of college football have a chance to play for the championship.
Yes.
That is the goal. That is what is accomplished and the reason why 12 was established. And I agree with that. So whenever we talk about it, two of those teams are going to be hopefully participating in a good way that they are representing well of themselves in that they are Power 4 conference champions, whatever. And essentially they're just there so that way the CFP doesn't get sued and everything else. Okay, so that's fine. So we're talking about the top 10 teams. Within the top 10 teams, we're looking at Indiana, Ohio State, Georgia, Texas Tech, Oregon, Ole Miss, I suppose, and Texas A&M. All of those teams, the top 7 teams that have a reasonable claim to say that, you know what, we were either at some point in time ranked number 1, we should have been ranked number 1, we only have 1 loss, whatever. They are having a chance to play for the championship. That goal is accomplished. Once we get to the next level of teams, quite frankly, you should just be grateful that you're invited.
Disagree. You're telling me that one of those teams can't go on a run? They do it in D2, right? They take 32 teams into the playoff. And you could have teams that can go on a winning run and all of a sudden they make the final. It's possible. Look at basketball. Look at NC State. The year they won.
Basketball,
But
man.
I mean, it's the same thing. You get these teams that have no business in the conversation, San Diego, and all of a sudden they're in the championship game. You're saying it can't happen? I'm saying it can.
No, there's no world in which
BS.
Even Miami is going to have to face just a gauntlet. You look at what they're going to have to face. I believe it's going to be like Texas A&M. I forget what Georgia, and then it's going to like Ohio State or something. Like it is outrageous the thing that they're going to have to face. Same as had Notre Dame. Same as had BYU. The only one that I could have said possibly has the talent in order to accomplish it would be Texas, and nobody believes in Texas, and they aren't they did not accomplish what they needed to do in order to manufacture their way in. So
you don't think Michigan could go on a run if they had a shot?
No.
You don't think Utah could go on a run if they had a shot? You don't think Texas can go on? I mean, there are schools that I'm looking at in the top 25 that I'm like, they could go on a run.
No, they could not, Ralph. You are being disingenuous, and also their record does not indicate that they can, because already they lost the games that, in theory, when every game matters, which every game but one, because whenever you lose one, you're still fine. But as soon as every game but one matters, when that becomes the case, they've shown that they cannot do it. They have not shown me that they have that level.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to How Not to Debate Anything.
Well, then let's talk about this. First of all, it's broken. We all agree it's broken.
Let's agree. It's
okay,
broken.
So we can agree it's broken, but then let's talk about this. So let's talk about Notre Dame for a second. So we all agree Miami deserved to get in. We all felt that.
Well, I would say over Notre Dame.
They deserve to have a shot to get in.
Over Notre Dame.
Should have been over Alabama too. But anyway, they had a shot to get in. Here's what I don't understand. And I don't know if you guys, I didn't know this. Someone told me about this week, was the guarantee. Did you guys know about this? So, starting next year, Notre Dame, if they finish inside the top 12, they have an automatic bid into the playoffs. Period.
Who gave them this?
College football playoffs committee did. They signed an agreement that gave them this power.
Supposedly, it was already in agreement. It just enacted this upcoming season that the next one it's going to enact. But it's from the previous athletic director from Notre Dame. Got that in writing.
Smart.
All right. Okay. So, I mean, good for them for getting in. But so Notre Dame is still independent, right?
They're independent. They can play nobody.
Okay.
Football.
So Notre Dame's independent. So then if they do that, what are the other teams going to do?
What do you mean?
I don't understand.
Well, they're going to try to sign those kind of guarantees as well.
No one's ever going to sign it again because no one's ever going to give it.
We're independent, right? But see, this is why I talk about, like, it's all kabuki theater. All of us wringing our hands about the system. The system is always going to be subjective to a certain degree. We're never going to get there. So we need to either learn how to live with it or whatever. But ultimately,
it's BS.
To me, that's BS.
And if they expand the playoff to 14 teams and they finish in the top 13, they're guaranteed a spot. These guys they're going to benefit no matter what going forward.
Touchdown Jesus is a real thing, man.
Give me some runway here.
Okay, let me hold on. I go.
Notre Dame is a bunch of petty, petulant children.
Wow.
At least I should qualify this. The athletic department, because those kids did not have the opportunity to decline this and to make this decision. But the fact that you are on the outskirts looking in, you're talking about quality losses versus quality wins, and you are making this case that somehow you had the best losses in the country when your only quality win is against a USC team that my dear friend Ralph over here would even admit they were hoping to get in themselves. Like, that was their best thing.
This wasn't their year.
This was not their year.
Yes.
And that is your best case scenario, saying, well, we had a really good time against that USC program. Forget about it. Notre Dame, you are a joke. You are a program that makes it all about yourself and the pomp and circumstance. And to go so far as to go on a radio program to out yourself to the public, to which many people did not even have a face or a name to the athletic director, to say that the ACC has done irreparable damage, permanent damage on your relationship with the ACC when you are all but dating and deciding not to marry, get all the benefits of being an FBS independent by saying, oh, whenever we make the playoff, instead of sharing that money with a conference of people, that what that money is for is to help make your case. That is why you join a conference, is so that way you have people lobbying on the part.
I think that's right. I think that's, yeah.
Yeah. And so saying, no, forget it. That $4 million that we would otherwise get or give to the conference, we want to keep for ourselves. Okay. Well, then this is the lack of a benefit for it. And okay, you want to go ahead and sign that guarantee and make it so that way you're into the playoff. If you're ranked 12 or below, guess what, guys? You're not going to be disappointed by the end of the season. On the turnabout is not going to say, oh, by the end of the season next year, we're going to be ranked number 12 and then be shocked by the final rankings when we when we get moved by nothing happening. Guess what? The shock is going to be the week before the final rankings. It will say, oh, somehow we moved even though we beat Colgate State over here and we
That's a
scored
good program, don't they?
62-0. How did we move back? Because they don't want to enact your guarantee. Mess around and find out, Notre Dame. Mess around and find out on how exactly the games are going to be played, because you are by yourself, for yourself, and snotty about yourself. And when these things happen, this is how the game gets played. So guess what? Join a conference and man up. My Lord.
Well,
listen,
I like it. I agree with you.
I agree in principle with everything you said. I think that this is a self-centered move by Notre Dame.
Absolutely.
And all the money aside, that money part is really important. And I don't think people truly understand that. Sure. Is the share they get when in a conference when they make the playoffs, et cetera. They're going to get all that money for themselves, right? Completely ridiculous. It's just a ball-faced move for money. It's all it is. But the other thing too is that the arrogance, the absolute arrogance of being like,
yes.
and just the optics alone of saying,
optics are bad.
Well, we didn't make the playoffs, so we're not going to play in a bowl game.
Entitlement.
Really? That's right. And of course, by the way, this gave birth to, ironically, to the best joke that I heard all week about this on social media. I didn't know Catholics could pull out.
Wow.
So, there you go. So there you go.
Man.
So if nothing else, it gave us a great meme for the week.
And I never want to hear from Notre Dame ever any gripe. Any Notre Dame fan, you so much as grumble a gripe about a player opting out of a bowl game or anything, or out saying like they're out, or I'm too injured and I want to have my NFL status safe, so I'm going to just sit it out and make sure that my injury status is fully healed before I go to the next level. I never want to hear a single word when you did this.
Well, and basically what you're saying is, another way you're saying is that if I can't play in the playoffs, it's not worth the risk or the time. And we're seeing that a little bit with a lot of teams, because a lot of these players that are going to declare for the draft, yes, they don't participate in the bowl games. The bowl games, because of the NIL and the transfer portal and the desire to move up to the pros, the bowl games are becoming irrelevant.
Baker's cocky hands on the text line says Notre Dame could have won it all and didn't make it. This shouldn't have happened. Period. I think they should make an exception and add Notre Dame and Michigan as a wild card game.
Okay, first of all,
he says Notre Dame won 9 straight. Their problem is they partnered with the weakest of the conferences, so they have no quality wins because they're not a quality team. There's not a quality team in the ACC. Why should the team play in a meaningless game? Players skip the bowls and no one cares. Why are we acting like these bowl games should be played at all?
Yeah, well, we can.
Well, okay, so that's a legitimate point, which I was kind of alluding to, right? Yeah. Is I'm not pro or anti bowl game whatsoever, but I'm just saying, observationally, it looks like this is going to be. We're seeing the complete irrelevance. Bowl games were a relic from the past. It was a great tradition. Yada yada yada. I understand all that. Is it worth keeping the tradition? I don't know. I absolutely.
I think the most inventive solution to this I've found is make the bowl games at the beginning of the next season. So if two so let's say USC and Miami are playing in the Pop-Tart Bowl.
Yes,
make
Pop-Tarts.
Yeah, I
love that.
I do love
game.
Oh, make it so that way next year's team benefits from what last year's team did, and therefore you have full participation on the sides of both teams. Understandably, it's probably not going to be the same team, but those are now creating to where it is a situation where both full rosters will play, and you have a quality opponent already built in that you may not otherwise play on your schedule.
I think I'd like to see the demise of the bowl games. There's a bowl game. There's a bowl game today. You know that?
Yeah.
The LA Bang Bowl or something really
the
weird.
LA Bang Bowl.
Ralph,
that's not a football game. I'm sorry to tell you.
Yeah, that's going on next to the bowl game. But there's some bowl game in LA.
That's in the Hollywood Hills somewhere.
I don't know what it's called, but it's some LA bowl thing going on.
That bowl's going on every.
Does anyone know? Does anyone care? No one cares.
Also, the absolute just incorrigible remarks of saying that Notre Dame won 9 straight. Get out of here. Purdue, Arkansas, Boise, NC State, USC. Fine.
Careful.
Okay. Yeah. Boston College, Navy, Pitt. You're going to hang your head on Pitt. And then Syracuse and the carcass of Stanford over there with bike rider himself, Andrew Luck. Get out of here.
Get out of here. Let me ask you this, staying with college football. How do you feel as an ASU grad about the whole Sam Leavitt thing where he's leaving ASU and he's going in the portal? Because there are a lot of people that are saying that he's doing this because he wants, number one, he doesn't want to get killed behind that weak offensive line again. He wants to stay healthy, and he wants a shot at playing for a bigger program where he can actually help his draft stock, and he doesn't feel he's going to have good draft stock playing at ASU. What do you think about that? You're an ASU alum. I mean, it's kind of a diss to ASU that he's leaving.
Yeah.
This was your guy.
Yeah, this was. Look, we've seen this blue. I think it's one of those things where if we've immediately seen success, people always try to copy the blueprint. We saw this with Jaden Daniels. I mean, Jaden Daniels, it was more so he was not welcome anymore under previous regimes. And then, of course, we saw how that's worked out. You would love to have Jaden Daniels finish out and be a ASU Sun Devil for life. That's not going to happen. Sam Leavitt, if he so thinks that he can find success elsewhere, God bless him. Have fun, have success, go where else. I can also understand why you wouldn't want to get killed. If you think that you have better prospects, reach for the stars.
He said the NIL situation at Arizona State doesn't work for him.
And I'd imagine,
in other words, I need more money.
Yeah. That's a bit sad.
This is what sucks about the NIL.
Well, I mean,
they're basically pro players. You're not paying me enough, I'm out.
Yeah. And good on him. I mean, I think if he's done well enough to where he's made a case for himself, I think that we're looking to ourselves to be a good home for somewhere. And we have now a case study of saying, look at what we did for Sam Leavitt. He's now going to an LSU. He's now going to an Alabama and being their starting quarterback. Like we produce starters. I mean,
I want to hear that.
That's where you got to start. That is where that is the beginning ground where you say,
I hope he winds up at Rutgers.
Yeah.
Okay. Last thing on college football. So, Blissful Hayes is on the text line, or he's on Facebook. It says the Arizona Cardinals should hire Sharon Moore as head coach on a prison work release program. So I know you guys said you wanted to talk about this. I don't know much about this situation. I know the basics, but I'll let you guys take it.
So let me run through the timeline, and then you and I can comment on this because funny enough, Ralph hasn't paid any attention. The first he heard about all this controversy was from us this morning and during our production meeting.
No, I heard about it a little before, but I don't know much about it. I just don't know much about it.
So here's the timeline.
I'm so glad we're gonna have this recorded on Ralph's face as we go through.
Oh, I know. So watch this. So here's the timeline, and you can fill in details. It starts with, and this is my main point that I'll make later at the end of this. November 29th, Ohio State defeats Michigan. December 8th, this woman, a staffer with whom Sharon Moore was having relations
of a sexual nature.
So there was touching.
There was all kinds of touching.
Inappropriate yet fully appropriate.
Well, it was a consensual relationship that had been going on for a while, apparently.
Yeah.
And listen, you know for a fact that people in the organization knew about this. Okay. Garbage if you don't know. That
is reckless speculation, but that is
it is reckless and accurate
touching speculation.
Anyway, on December 8th, the woman in question ends the relationship with Sharon Moore, which then leads to Sharon Moore. Well, okay, we'll get to their speculation on that.
Go ahead.
Anyway, whatever.
Good timeline.
She ends the relationship, and then Sharon Moore apparently sends a barrage, a flood, a veritable cornucopia of unwanted texts and phone calls.
These are just texts.
Trying to contact her or whatever. Okay. December 9th and 10th, she files a formal complaint with the University of Michigan.
Ooh.
There's an internal investigation that's started. Midday on December 10th, Moore is fired with cause.
So is the cause that he was touching or dating a staffer?
Because he was having a relationship with a staffer, an undisclosed.
What was her role?
I don't know.
She wasn't on the football program, was it?
She was in the football program. Don't know the role. Anyway, then December 10th at 4:10 p.m., apparently, Sharon Moore, according to reports, this is all alleged. It's all speculation, but it's all in the public, so don't come after me. It was public, right? He allegedly he was arrested for going over to her house for an attempted home invasion.
Stalking.
The speculation is that he broke into the house, went over to the kitchen, grabbed some knives and stuff, and threatened to kill himself.
Oh my gosh.
Because this girl ruined his life, blah, 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 whatever.
I'm going to kill myself. I'm going to make you watch. My blood is on your hands.
That was the quote. Wow. So then he gets arrested. The detention is publicly confirmed, English, December 11th. Formal charges are filed December 12th, and he's arraigned. And on the 12th, he's also released on bond. So this guy went from being the head coach at the University of Michigan to being a being charged with a couple of felonies. I think they're felonies.
Breaking and entering.
Breaking and entering.
Attempted suicide. What? That's a felony. I want to kill myself.
For some people, it might be. No, whatever. He's up on charge. I don't know if they're felonies, but he's up on charge. Now he's been charged with several crimes. So you want to talk how the mighty have fallen.
So I'm assuming the college or the university has policy about dating staffers.
Well, it's for cause for an inappropriate relationship.
Okay, so
Yes, exactly.
that seems
Because
legit.
also supposedly he had just for no apparent reason given her a $50,000 raise after apparently, again, supposedly finding out that she was pregnant.
Oh, so so look, here's my problem with all of this.
Wow. You have just one?
I have one main problem with it. And here's my problem is that, and this isn't about the woman involved. It's not even about Sherwin Moore. Okay. It's about the University of Michigan and the culture that they've created. There's a saying that we talk about here on the show often is that, and then the late great John Madden always said that winning is a great deodorant. You don't hear about problems until things are going bad. When things are good, when teams are winning, you never hear about this stuff. When something bad happens, now all of a sudden stuff comes out. All right.
Very true.
My opinion, this is totally my opinion. There is no way that if this relationship had been going on for months, there is no way that nobody knew about it. There is no way it was secret. And so my speculation is that the University of Michigan didn't do anything about it because they were winning. But and let's say, okay, let's back up. Let's rewind. Again, this is all my opinion, my speculation. I'm entitled to my opinion. If you don't like it, too bad. If Michigan had beat Ohio State and she had come forward, the University of Michigan would have found a way to make it go away. They would have put it under the rug unless he had ticked off somebody in the organization and they were going to get rid of him anyway. But ultimately, I don't think any of this happens or this goes down a lot differently if Michigan beats Ohio State. And to me, that speaks to the real problem here. The real problem is that the culture at some of these schools, that Ohio State-Michigan game is life to these schools. I have interacted with people who graduated from both schools who were they were college football fans, and they treat that game, it's like God, my grandmother, and Ohio State, Michigan. Like and sometimes it's even ahead of God in some cases,
That's
right?
true.
Absolutely. So the level of intensity, the level of angst about losing, like this, you could win it's like last year. It didn't matter that Ohio State won the national championship because they lost to Michigan, right?
But how long were they dating?
What's the speculation there?
It's been a while because
years.
I don't know about years.
Maybe not. Who knows?
Probably within a year.
My point is this. This speaks to the toxic culture in college football. The fact that they're willing to let stuff slide like this, which was clearly a violation of university policy of having intimate relations with a coworker. Okay.
Yeah.
I think all schools have that. They let that slide until it was inconvenient for him, and until he lost, and then he started going crazy.
Well, until she put it out there.
Maybe. To your point, Neil, two things. One, Sports Girlies on the comments saying yes, Neil, 100% agree. And to bolster your point as well.
Thank you, Sports Girly.
Amongst the biggest gripes I have with the situation is Michigan knew of this. They launched an internal investigation back in October. When did they fire him? They fired him December 8th.
After he lost the Ohio State game.
As well as that. And after December 3rd, what is December 3rd? December 3rd is Michigan's main football signing day for 2025 for the early signing period. So they waited to make sure that they got a bunch of recruits signed and everything.
Oh,
you can still decommit.
They can still decommit, but it's certainly a little bit harder if you.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, it's just a little bit more.
It's so slimy.
I would decommit instantly.
Well, it depends on who the new coach is.
Because you're going into a program now that you have no idea because it's a new coach. Whenever you're talking a new head coach, everything's off the table.
I mean, I agree.
You're decommitting at that point.
I think it depends on the level of recruitment.
Well, I mean, it is. If this was Bucky Tucker University, yes. It's Michigan, I'd still give him a chance.
And also with it's interesting because had they fired him sooner, they would have had a fair amount of coaching candidates. Because while I do not think Michigan is nearly the level of job that its status and brand awareness would merit, and especially being that close to owning a national championship. And the one thing that they do possess is a former number 1 overall quarterback prospect that has a year in, so should be more aware and should be ready to lead their offense to a ranked year minimum.
Is he not Captain Handoff?
He's not. No.
Like JJ McCarthy.
Any reaction from Harbaugh?
Harbaugh's probably like, well, I'm glad I'm not there anymore. Good grief. Anyway, thanks for letting us talk about that. I hope you feel more informed now. But what a circus. What a circus college football can be.
Baker's cocky hands on the text line said, if only ASU had a big alumni base with money to pay the players. I hope Leavitt goes to U of A.
Oh, that is a stab.
Wow.
Wildcats, bear down, baby.
That's right.
Harbaugh said he was
Damn.
still processing.
He's still processing.
Yeah, that's about it.
Bitter Dolphin fan says, even if he won the Ohio State game, I hear he's married. What if his wife went public about that affair? Wouldn't he have been fired
They
anyway?
would have found a way to cover
Oh,
it
he's
up.
married, so I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh,
With
wow.
3 kids.
They would have found a way
Well,
to
and
cover
that says a
up.
lot about her, too, because she knew he
Oh,
was
stop
married.
it.
Oh, come on.
Stop it.
We're going to talk
I'm pretty
NFL
sure he
next
knew
hour. Hey,
he was married.
hang in there. Join us next hour. We'll finish this up, and then we'll talk some NFL. Weekend Warriors, baby.
Hey, Ralph, got another solar question for you.
Okay, but did you check out the Harmon Solar podcast first?
The what?
The Harmon Solar Podcast. We put new episodes up twice a month that teach you all the things you ever wanted to learn about solar. We discuss things like how solar works, the roofing, sales process, demand management, everything solar.
Show like this needs some real smart thinkers, huh?
Well, yeah,
So you got some really great guests then, huh?
almost every show.
Is it on Spotify?
Yep,
iTunes?
yep, just search it everywhere. It's the Harmon Solar Podcast. Go check it out at harmonsolar.com.
After you cook, are you staring at a pan full of grease? Pan dust turns hot, messy grease into dry, scoopable crumbs in seconds. Sprinkle, stir, let it set, wipe it out, done. Fewer towels, cleaner counters, and yes, happy drains. Want to see it work? Open YouTube and search Pan Dust Absorbs Grease, or go straight to our channel at Pan Dust Absorbs Grease. Watch a quick demo, hit subscribe, and share it with your bacon-obsessed friends. It works on cast iron, non-stick, baking sheets, even grill pans. It's plant-based, no harsh smell, and cleanup is weirdly satisfying. Make cleanup the easiest part of cooking. Pan dust absorbs grease.
Game day, date night, or a midweek bite, make the Spot Neighborhood Grill your go-to. Sizzling burgers, crispy wings, street-style tacos, fresh salads, and shareables that disappear fast. Add an ice-cold draft or a classic cocktail, and you've got your new neighborhood favorite. Wall-to-wall TVs so you won't miss a play, a patio made for Arizona evenings, and that friendly local vibe you love. Find us at 2 Valley locations, Scottsdale at 18,251 North Pima Road, and Glendale on 5350 West Bell Road. Dine in, grab takeout, or order ahead. Find us at thespotgrill.com for the menu, hours, directions, and daily specials. Again, that's thespotgrill.com. The Spot Neighborhood Grill. Great food, great people.
Turn your backyard into the best seat in the house with Curbalite, the app-controlled landscape curb that wraps your trees in color. Pick any hue, run preset scenes, even schedule your lights right from your phone. And on party night, make the lights dance to the music. Choose the traditional round tree ring or the contemporary square. Both install in minutes and link together for bigger, brighter displays. Connect up to 12 sets to frame your whole space. Built for real weather, Curbalite is tested in extreme heat and cold, so your glow goes year-round. Level up your nights, game day, holidays, or just because. Get Curbalite now at Curbalite.com. That's Curbalite.com.
The Weekend Warriors, taking sports talk radio to a new dimension. Listen to Ralph, Neil, Phil, and guests break down the news.
Isn't that what everybody wants?
The games.
If you like the NFL, this is your shot.
The matchups.
This will be the last year I think we'll ever see one 3,000 strikeout player, much less 2 facing each other.
The Weekend Warriors.
We are known to chant as well.
You're listening to the Weekend Warrior Show. It's time for hour number 2.
It's the weekend.
Warriors, Warriors, come on to play.
Yeah, here we go.
All right, everybody, a little bit after 11 a.m. on this beautiful Saturday morning. I'm Ralph Romano. Alongside my partners in crime, we have the legend Neil Lynch, the legendary Philip Amorine, and this is Hour 2 of the Weekend Warriors.
This is Hour 2 with Neil spilling his coffee cup on the Weekend Warriors. Hey, listen, folks, we would love to get your commentary. We've had a lot of interaction this first hour. We appreciate it. We love it. We want to hear more of it. We want to talk to you. We want to interact with the fans. So if you want to do that, there's a couple ways you do it. The first one is you can comment on our live social media streams. That's X, that's YouTube, that's the Book of Faces, a.k.a. Facebook, a.k.a. Mark Zuckerberg's little privacy-killing playground, whatever you want to call it. Or if you want to use the old telephono, the old communication device that doubles as a handheld computer, you can hit us up on the Weekend Warriors text line. That's 866-412. Hang on a second. 866-412-6366. That is 866-412-6366. If you can't read and if you didn't understand anything, don't blame me. It's too bad.
No, Neil, that was very professional.
You can't text and don't worry about it.
Say to it is,
Speaking of text line, Blissful Hayes came back and says it's being reported he forced his side girl to have an abortion.
yeah, again, possibly
Part of the whole
I'm still going to say
messiness.
My last comment on this, and I didn't know anything about this. This is a horrible situation. I don't care what you say, but she knew what she was getting herself into with a married man. That doesn't make her not guilty of a lot of bad things. Now, ultimately, he's an idiot in everything he did, but don't make it like she's this innocent little girl because she's not. She knew he was married and had a family, and she was cheating with him. So that.
Do you think he knew that he had him married and had 3 kids?
Of course, I'm not saying. I didn't say he was not the victim.
Just saying.
But
Ralph,
she's not as big of a victim as we want to say she is.
Ladies
Anyway.
and gentlemen, Ralph likes to step in it whenever possible.
I like to step in reality and not live in the fakeness of what some people are trying to do here. So anyway, that's reality. Okay, we're going to get past this. We got to go to the NFL.
Wow.
That's right. This is me being mean. We're going to get to the NFL now. Enough of this college football stuff and people cheating and all this other stuff. Let's talk about this guy. There's an issue here. So
What guy?
We all remember Andrew Luck, right?
I've heard of him.
Andrew's spleen is not so lucky. Yes, I've heard of him.
Let's listen to this real quick from Joe Burrow.
Okay.
You seem like there's something on your mind, or maybe I'm reading too much into it, but it seemed frustrating.
There's just a lot of things going on right now.
Football related, personally?
All the above.
How has the injury maybe changed the way that you view the game?
No, it certainly doesn't change my desire to win. If I want to keep doing this, I have to have fun doing it. I've been through a lot, and if it's not fun, then what am I doing it for?
Are we watching another Andrew Luck scenario play out here? Because it's starting. I don't know if you guys saw this, and I was watching this. He looks really distraught, dejected, like he's got maybe stuff going on in his personal life as well. I don't know. But it doesn't seem like he's all into wanting to be a football player anymore. And someone said, well, do you have a reason to play? Well, yeah, he's got 55 million reasons to play.
I didn't hear that he doesn't want to play the game. I hear he doesn't want to play for the Bungles. That's what I heard.
They didn't get specific about the Bungles. It's more about, is he having fun playing the game anymore? When you listen to the whole thing.
He's not going to say that in a conference like that.
But when you listen to the whole conference, I mean, the guy's, there's something going on there mentally with this guy. So, which was what happened to Andrew Luck. If you remember the conferences he was having toward the end.
Let's run through it, right?
Okay.
To this point, upon the completion of this season, which we would assume he will have earned nearly $177.2 million in his career.
Nothing.
No, wow. And of course,
change.
But at that point in time, to complete the rest of his $275 million contract versus 177, I realize that that's an astronomical amount of money for the rest of us.
Yeah.
But when you're talking about 177 to the rest of the 275, which I think would be, nearly 50 more million, maybe something around there. I've never been good with numbers, but something around there. Versus getting blown up for 18 weeks out of the year and then going through this list of injuries. Let's go through them. In college, he broke a bone in his throwing hand in 2017, 2020, tore rib cartilage in the CFP National Championship. Then we go to his rookie season, which we remember, suffered a severe left knee injury where he torn his ACL, MCL, PCL, meniscus.
Are there any CLs left at that point?
No. 2021, dislocated a pinky finger. Okay. 2022, aggravated a previous knee injury during the season and sprained his MCL in the Super Bowl. And then 2023, strained his calf in training camp, followed by a torn ligament in his right wrist. And then finally, in 2025, which was this year, he suffered a grade 3 turf toe injury. So I can understand the guy saying, why am I playing behind an awful offensive line that is never going to get better because the front office for which I play for is not good, to where even when he came out, when he was to get drafted, people were saying, should this guy, more so than Caleb Williams, I even feel like, should this guy pull an Eli Manning and get away because it's the Bengals? Like, nobody wants to go play for the Bengals. The Bengals barely can get anybody to play for the Bengals, and nobody and the Bengals don't even want to work for the Bengals. I mean, the Bengals are just a moribund franchise that the only modicum of success that they've ever had are with top tier quarterbacks that are at least inducted into the Hall of Fame, if not other Ring of Honors. And when we're looking at you, Carson Palmer, and then Joe Theismann, or not, Boomer Esiason, I'm sorry, and then of course now Joe Burrow. They reached the Super Bowl, and that was purely on Joe Burrow's stature. So I would be worried if I was the Bengals. I would be very, very worried. Very, very worried.
You think he's going to quit? Retire?
It's on the table. He is somebody who oozes, as the kids say, aura. And when you are that cool, when you're that suave, you know what you need and know what you don't.
What's the contract situation with him right now?
Don't know anything.
How many years left?
While you're looking that up, Bitter Dolphin fans on the text line or on Facebook, it says, is there a player more valuable than Joe Burrow to a team? He carries his team when he's playing. And I agree. I mean, he carries that.
I don't know if he's the most valuable, but he's incredibly valuable for sure.
For that team, he's extremely valuable.
I would say, well, I'll be honest, the Joe Flacco is of all this kind of threw a wrench into my equation for this year. Like I do wonder how valuable he is, but whatever. He's got about three more years.
$55 million a year.
2026, 2027,
stuck.
28, 29. Yeah.
He's stuck.
He just signed a huge contract. I mean, $55 million a year is his average. I mean, he makes a lot of money.
That's the cap hit. He's probably going to be making 25 this year, 25 next year, 27 the year after. So
I feel like that if it meant getting more offensive alignment on the team, I think Burrow would restructure in order to make some room so they can get some protection for him.
But
if he really wanted to.
I'm not sure how that correlates to this, because it doesn't sound like he's wanting to restructure money. I feel like this is one of a couple things. One, a true life-altering moment in time for him, to where he is wondering, what is the point of all this? I've made so much money, and obviously we're not going to win, whatever. Like, that's on the table. That is possibility one. Possibility two is, I want more money. We saw this with Myles Garrett. I'm never playing for this Browns team. I will not take another snap. I want to go somewhere where I win. And then lo and behold,
and
before the season,
they back up the truck.
Yeah. So he wants more money. That's possibility number two.
Or
possibility number three, he wants to go somewhere else. He wants to be traded. None of those to me strike, I'm looking to restructure my deal because I trust the Bengals to do the right thing with more money available to them.
But that is an option. Even if it's not a viable option, it's still an option. You know, the fact that he's willing, he just wants whatever he's, and listen, you can't.
You saw that too, right?
God, we have the best comments and text.
Chief Skulls on YouTube says Burrow is out like Ralph's hair.
Nikes.
That caught me and just threw me aside.
Burrow's out like Ralph's hair.
No, you were making a good point, Neil.
Thank you, Chief Skull. I needed that laugh. That was funny.
All I'm saying is that
option is available.
Some of this might be just showmanship. It might be him negotiating from the press conference stage. It has happened before. Don't tell me that these players aren't savvy enough and they won't do that. That is an option. Is it the correct option? I don't know. I heard a lot of consternation in his voice too. So I understand that where people think he's just like, I'm out of the game, and it could be.
I don't think this is about money. I
agree with that.
I don't think so either.
So again, I always use this example only because my son's an athlete. I watch an athletes that go through injury, right? And when injuries are really tough for athletes because they're so used to being able to do whatever they want with their bodies, right? Because they're in great shape.
And also with the team.
They work really hard, right? So when they get hurt, it's emotional, right?
It's isolating.
You've
as
seen
well.
football players in the NFL when they get hurt, they're sitting there crying on the field, knowing that's my season. It could be my career, whatever it is. And when you're getting hurt every year and having to deal with that, I can imagine the mental drain that has to play on a person, right? It's got to just mess you up where you start thinking, I know, because my son's going through it right now. You start thinking with it, man, I walk away from this. I'm done. I just can't keep going through this. I'm getting hurt all the time, right? So
Neil's joined the text line.
Yeah.
I'm helping. I'm talking to Chief Skubal. Y'all having your own conversation. You go right ahead. I'm talking to Chief Skubal.
I think that's what this is. I think this is a guy that's having a mental breakdown a little bit of a mental breakdown because of all the hardship he's been going through the last few years with all these injuries. And I totally get it. And I think it's possibility this guy could just wake up one day at the end of the season and go, I'm done.
I'm right there with you. That's why I said my option number one is I think that this is a true Joe Burrow oozes so much coolness to him. Like he is so cool that like his number one purchase and desire was to buy a Batmobile. Like that is just cool. And like,
cool.
Yeah,
I want to buy a Batmobile.
he got like his linemen their own personalized, customized katanas. Like these are things. Cool. Yeah, that's cool. Like Brock Purdy got his linemen like trucks. That makes sense. That's really, like for Christmas last year. I
because he went to Gilbert Ford and got him there.
Yes, I'm sure.
Neil, I hate the uniforms, but love the hat. That's what Chief Skubal said.
He loves the hat. Yeah, exactly.
Did you hear the stat? Burrow 13 less games than Luck and 26 more sacks than Luck.
Yeah.
Wow.
Chief Skubal saying.
That's crazy.
So I think maybe
it's almost an existential crisis. And I feel like that's just playing out. Like could there be showmanship? Yes. Do I think that there's a possibility? But I mean, look at Andrew Luck. Again, that's why this comp gets thrown around so much, is that Andrew Luck, I'm sure had he wanted more money, the Colts would have given him more money. That was not what he wanted. That was not what he desired.
Right.
And when we're talking in the hundreds of millions, an extra $30 million once everything goes away, once like taxes and agent fees and finder's fees, all this stuff. Once that goes away and you're left with like $30 million, another $30 million to possibly break something else on your body, that's an existential crisis that I could see him very much, especially with somebody who's not as mobile as he is, that he can be like considered a sitting duck back there. I could see him just wrestling with that, having to deal with that.
Scott the King back on the text line says, Josh Allen is more valuable than Burrow. His cast of pass catchers is highly inferior.
I would agree.
I would agree with that 100%.
Everybody keeps saying this about Joe Burrow, and I'm telling you that Joe Flacco is going to stick in like a craw in my teeth, where I'm just like,
you should floss. You should floss for that.
I really should.
And hey, Scott, we're going to be doing our picks here soon. If you want to throw your pick at us as we're giving ours, I'd love to see your picks.
Yeah.
Chief Skull's back on and says, fat fingers informs. What? Informs?
Because earlier he said, Neil, I hate the informs. What he meant to say was,
uniform.
I hate the uniforms.
Oh.
But love.
I thought he was going somewhere with the fingers.
Oh, no.
Really sure I wanted to go.
I'm okay with their City Connect jerseys. I think the worst City Connect jerseys in all of baseball is the Los Angeles Dodgers.
By far.
I cannot stand them. I think the Twins are actually pretty good.
Here's my other beef this week.
What you got problems you're going to tell us about?
I'm full of beef.
Yeah, that's what I heard. that's what he said.
More like sausage.
Yeah.
And I don't get this. And I'm worried about this. Phillip Rivers coming out of 5-year retirement. No. And I just heard this morning, and it's on our ticker, that he has been activated. He's starting against the Seahawks.
No, he's eligible to play.
He's going to start, dude. They didn't bring this guy out of retirement to activate him on a roster to not start. He's going to start against the Seahawks. And dude, you're out of your freaking mind. Not only are you going against an NFL group of players, you're going against one of the best, hardest hitting defenses in the game. Are you out of your mind? Are you going to just hand off the ball and run away? Because you better be. Because this doesn't make sense why this guy would come. If you guys saw the video this week of him warming up or practicing, he's overweight. He's fat. I mean, he is overweight. He could not move around very well, and he wasn't throwing very well. And if you listen to the coach, Steichen, he was talking about, well, he's making the good 5-yard throws. He looks like he's grasping it really well in the first 3 days, and we like what we see. Come on, dude. Is this a stunt? Is this I don't understand why you would do this. It makes no sense. There's better options than this guy. Why would you do this? Phil, why would you do this? Dumb.
Showmanship.
But why?
No.
So hang on a second. So I think we should bring a different voice into this conversation. I want to hear from Sports Girly because she's a huge apologist for Carly Ursay Gordon, the owner of the Colts.
Ooh.
Do you think that Sports Girly? Do you think that Carly did this for a publicity stunt?
And because I'm not a Chuck roast.
She obviously
he's a Ralph roast.
She obviously had a say in this. She had to approve this. So why would she allow this? Is this a publicity stunt for the team, or does she truly think that they have a better chance of winning with 44-year-old father of 16 or 17 or however many kids he has?
Fat
Philip Rivers.
He's Fat Philip.
Yeah, that makes one of us. But look,
you're Philip and he's Fat Philip.
Yeah, I think it's gamesmanship more than showmanship. I think what it is right now is that they are trying to sell this to the Seattle Seahawks to say, just be ready for Philip Rivers, which
that's disrespectful. That's disrespectful.
I'm just saying.
If I'm that defense and he gets onto that field, I'd take him out in that first series. Yeah. I hit him as hard as I can, and he'll never get up.
I think that they want it. So because of what you're saying, at 44, I don't even know that he's insurable, guys. Like, I don't know. Like, I
mean,
wait, what are you saying?
Anything's insurable.
I'm being 90% serious. He could die on that field.
Oh, I agree.
Like, I don't think that it is so out of left field that I feel like he is signed for a practice purpose and truly an emergency handoff situation.
Why on the active roster?
I agree with you. Like, it makes so little sense that I think that what is going on is that they just need a break glass in case of emergency handoff guy that does not amount to, if you remember years ago now, when the 49ers were in the championship game against the Eagles and Brock Purdy went down and then the backup went down and they had Christian McCaffrey in like the Wildcat having to be back there. They would just want to avoid that. They want somebody who, we're going to take 2 seconds and somebody to backpedal and then throw. Because to this day, I'm pretty sure to this day, Dan Marino will go out and throw practice throws. The arm never leaves. Nobody's worried. Whenever we say this, nobody's worried that he can't make the throws. No. What you're worried about is the very thing that Justin Herbert is having to deal with, where it's like they can't protect themselves out there. They can't properly. And when they get hit by a professional guy who lifts a house on the daily, and they get just that unpropelled force on a hit that they do not see coming, that he could bust a spine.
Can you imagine Uchenna Nwosu or Nick Emanwari coming in and just hitting this guy? He won't get up.
Get a clean hit, he's done.
Hey, he's not going to get up.
So
he's going to get hurt.
Because of how implausible this is, because of how unrealistic this is, I have to believe that they cannot put this man in risk. A man who somehow is a semifinalist candidate for the Hall of Fame this very year. He's been out of football since COVID.
5 years.
For 5 years.
And the first snap he takes, he has to wait 5 more to be eligible again.
Yeah.
If he's still alive, apparently, according to Phil.
Well,
he might
Blissful
not be
Hayes
here.
is saying on the text line, why didn't the Colts sign Kaepernick or Cam Newton? They're both younger than Rivers.
Well,
I'm going to let you do that one. I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole.
Well, I mean, they're both issues if you bring them on, right? They're both going to be public issues. They both are very outspoken. They both bring a lot of baggage with them.
Well, one would argue that Philip Rivers himself, just by being the age he is kind of invited all this anyways.
Well, but the reason they brought him was because he knows the offense. He's worked with the coach. They figured it'd be an easier transition, but the reality is it's a stupid move.
This is the same organization, by the way. I know this was Carly's father who did this. This is the same organization that brought in Jeff Saturday as a head coach.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah.
I'm not sure that I trust this organization to be making smart and prudent decisions. So, look, I'm with you, Ralph. I think that there should be, and there must be. Just go sign Josh Dobbs off of a practice squad. Go look at other practice squads across the NFL and find an able body, because Philip Rivers and what he offers you is nothing more than a PR hit.
That's all this is.
That's all it is.
Chiefs goes on a roll. Steichen and Rivers are friends is the only reason. The owner is trusting Steichen. Rivers is taking over for Pat Boone after he gets hurt against Seattle for life insurance. This guy is.
I love drinking milk.
He's on a roll.
Like sands through the hourglass, so are the games of last week.
Yes, it's time again for Phil's favorite segment of the show.
Is it your favorite segment of the show?
It is this week.
It's every week. It's his favorite.
Let's hear about it.
We could talk about some of these games, Philip. What would you like to start with?
Yeah, Philip.
Well, let's see. Let's skip the game where the Seahawks just absolutely demolished Cole's Cash. That was the easiest win of the season.
Chains.
I thought it was funny how they did that to him, and then they came out the next week with Thursday game and then beat the Bucks.
Yeah,
I mean, that was kind of like,
because,
wow.
yeah.
And Cole's Cash looked really good Thursday.
Yeah,
He sure did.
Yeah, just stop it. The Seahawks have not had a good
He
win
drove
thus
his mini.
far.
Seattle's
Listen,
defense is too good.
He celebrated that win by driving over to the closest Kohl's the next day with his family, and they bought some collared shirts, man.
Bengals Bills. I mean, we just talked about Joe Burrow. What a game! Because even in the fourth, I was not sure that the Bills were going to pull that one out. All of a sudden, you look up, and what was a lead by the Bengals gets squandered away to where the Bills all of a sudden just Josh Allen all of a sudden becomes Superman to the next level. Runs it all the way down. What was it, 60 yards? I mean, or no, yeah.
That was a crazy game. I did watch the end of that.
And plus in the snow. That's one of
I
those.
love snow football.
Oh God, you got to love watching.
There were
it on
so
TV.
many snow
And I
football
mean-
games the last week. It was great.
But let's get to the game of the week.
Wait, how about Steelers Ravens? It's a good game.
That was a good game too.
Oh, get out of here. That was
What?
horrendous.
What do you mean
It was
horrendous?
27-22. What was horrendous about it?
Everything but the score.
Okay,
Did
what-
you actually watch it, Neil? It
A
was
little bit.
awful. It was boring.
A
It was
little bit of
defensively
it. I
boring.
watched a little
One
bit.
more before you talk about the stupid game. What about the Charger Eagle game, that overtime game? I thought that was really good. That game cost me the Guillotine League because that stupid kicker.
I know.
I was getting ready to go to the championship
You
game
were
this week.
so close. You got dickered out.
I got dickered out by 2 points.
Wah,
Anyway.
wah, wah,
But I thought that was a good game.
wah.
I mean, that game brings up a lot of issues with Jalen Hurts going on. I mean, there's something going on there. There's rumors that he's losing the locker room, kind of like how Russ did in Seattle. That there's some
a lot
comparisons
of-
going on
Yeah,
between
but
him and
not.
Russ.
I guarantee you, not in the same way that Russell Wilson lost it.
Well, they're saying they're saying that people are starting to not be on his side,
Well, no, he's apparently never been beloved in the locker room.
but it's
Like,
getting worse.
and it's getting worse. That's the key. Is that whereas I think the similarities between him and Russell Wilson are uncanny. Both somewhat undersized quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Both having a wonderful deep ball. Both having physical attributes that, with time, certainly wear out a lot
Sure.
faster than other contemporaries, and always seemingly above the rest of the locker room, almost like to a degree, just a brand of business, and to a distracting amount, like to where Andrew Luck never felt like he was above the locker room, but he always felt like he was going to give you the PR answer, right? Whereas like, gosh golly, gee whiz, I had 9 sacks today, all within
golly.
1 second, and that's on me. I need to throw it faster. And it's like, yeah, from when? The snap? Like, Andrew, please, like say a realistic word. But that being said, all those guys in the locker room loved him. Like, they cried when he retired. Nobody cried when Russell Wilson left the Seattle Seahawks. They cried that, why couldn't you do it sooner?
No, they were done with him.
Yeah, I know. They were
But they were done with him in 2014.
So with Jalen Hurts having the performance that he did against the Chargers, it's weird. The Eagles are weird, man. And then also the Eagles fans are so angry. They just won a Super Bowl. Like,
that's Eagles fans.
That's
They're always
insane.
angry.
They
I'm
are
still
angry.
happy about this.
Philadelphia sports fans are angry in general.
I'm still satiated and happy about the Super Bowl we won as Broncos at Super Bowl 50. Like, that brings me
Satiated.
warmth. That brings me joy. Like, I have no idea how Philly can be like a year removed. God, Jalen Hurts. God. I mean, now their coach, I can understand the animosity.
Well,
But
is the coach protecting him, you think, in the locker room? That's what the people say Carroll did for Russ.
I have no idea, man.
I wonder.
I sincerely,
It's going to come
But
out.
you love. I think you agree that Sirianni is one of the greatest coaches to ever coach in the NFL, right?
I think we can all agree. I disagree with that.
Right.
You know, it's like Whistle Hayes just said. He goes, the Eagles fans should be lucky Kyler Murray isn't their quarterback.
Honestly, the moment that they
True.
had that stupid, almost cursed, that stupid bunny, the positive bunny,
The
rabbit.
bunny.
Yeah, the inflatable bunny. Did you not see this?
No.
Oh, I'm gonna get that for you.
What?
So heading into the week on Monday, they had all of a sudden apparently the offensive lineman, somebody in there, they won't give names, thank God, but apparently in the locker room they had a positivity rabbit that was an
Yes,
inflated
I
rabbit.
did see a picture of the positivity rabbit.
positivity
Who did this?
One of the linemen,
Somebody.
some people in the linemen,
somebody who needs
because
to be
they were like the vibes aren't real here. Saquon commented
publicly
on it.
shamed.
It was so outrageous that
Come
people thought it was
on.
AI generated. No, it was
This
real.
is like the white married couple that puts the elephant on the mantle because now they have to talk about something.
What an elf on a shelf idea of
It's
a
just
positivity.
stupid. If you can't talk to your wife just because you got to talk to her and you got to put an elephant up there, you got bigger problems.
And lo and behold, upon a overtime loss to the Chargers, the positivity rabbit has been deflated.
Wow. Well, you
really?
you went a long way for that punchline. Nice job.
Chief Skulls on YouTube says Luck can build a rocket, but he couldn't save his kidney from getting lacerated.
Well, I mean,
Well, there's that.
who could about that?
Honestly.
Indianapolis Colts line. You know what the true
Exactly.
travesty of the Colts with Luck was?
What's
And
the true
it's just like-
travesty of the Colts
was that
with
like
Luck?
literally the year after he retired, they had a tremendous offensive line. Like
Yeah.
They did.
Yeah, because they
did.
all the picks that they were like, we're going to get him a good line, and then finally, the moment he left, they could not find a quarterback to save their life, but they had a really good offensive
That
line.
was the ultimate screw you to a franchise.
That was
It was pretty bad. It was set them back years.
yeah.
So
really-
listen, Ralph, we've been putting it off long enough.
Go ahead.
I think it's time to talk about the Packers beating the Bears.
I agree.
No, I'm just kidding. That was a good game.
That was a great
That was a
game.
coin flip
It
game.
really was a good game.
Packers won that game, and like I'll
Really
take
good
the
game.
win. Don't want to overanalyze it. The Bears are still rising and they're very good. The Packers just won that.
I think the
Earlier-
Bears will pay him
contest
back
that
in
time.
2 weeks.
Earlier in the show,
Yeah.
we mitigated good losses, but that truly
good
was
loss.
a good loss by the Bears. Where I
The
that's
Bears
the
are
first time,
legit.
first time all season that I thought, oh, the Bears can hang with the contender.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can. All right, so that's all we're going to talk about.
So let's go ahead and talk about your phoniness of Shador. Go
Oh, I
ahead.
forgot about
against
that.
the Titans' amazing defense. Go ahead.
I think we're going to talk about the Broncos win against the
No,
Raiders.
he's going to talk about Shador against the worst defense in the league. Go ahead.
Okay, go ahead. All
That
right.
is singularly the best performance
Oh my gosh.
any Browns quarterback has put on the field, and it is so not even close. Shador Sanders deserves to be the quarterback for the entirety of this season, and dare I say, deserves to be the starting quarterback for next season.
So-
mind
So so in compare, we're talking now. You
364 yards,
against the Titans.
3 touchdowns,
Against the Titans.
brings them all but back to win. And who let that game down? Who was the component? Was it the offense that Shador led? No, it was the defense.
Notice you didn't mention the interception.
Oh, yeah, the interception was Dylan Gabriel wishes, he salivates, thinking, I'm on the field with greatness.
Oh, come on.
I wish I could be that tall. I
Who they-
wish I could throw.
Who are they
that-
playing this week?
This week, they are playing a team of repute, and
That means you don't know.
and
They're playing the Bears
They're playing the oh,
in Chicago.
that's an interesting game actually.
Bye-bye.
That's an opportunistic defense. I don't think that's a great defense.
That's a defense that's going to pick him off a couple times.
Maybe, but like 5 tutties to two picks. I'll
Look,
take it.
Shador had a good game against a bad team.
Oh,
but you're supposed to have a good game against a bad team, so
He's
it's okay.
taking steps, Ralph. Like
So-
he's not holding onto the ball nearly as much. He's not getting sacked nearly as much. I see improvement. I see talent there.
So you qualified it by saying that he was the best. That's the best start by a Browns quarterback in a long time.
All season for certain.
So you're talking. So within that context, which I can respect, I understand that context.
Get out.
How do you feel? How do you feel that he compares to, let's say, another great Browns quarterback, Bernie Kosar?
Bernie. Love Bernie Kosar.
Well, it's 2 very different eras.
Oh, but that doesn't stop anyone from comparing anyone anywhere. So let's go for it.
Not even close.
Well, I mean, they're both more closer to pocket quarterbacks. I think that we've seen with Shador, he at least has the ability to drive the ball down the field in inclement weather. Bernie certainly had that. He certainly had arm strength. I
Stop.
like. There's a lot with
Stop.
Stefanski. Just seems to be more and more of a buffoon the further on we go.
It's his fault. It's his fault.
I mean, tell me that. Tell me where I'm wrong. Where it's
No,
like,
you're
well,
not wrong.
the further along we go, the less I am believing of a conspiracy theory that I never really gave much credence to, anyways. But more so attributing, saying that you wanted to save his job for drafting Dylan Gabriel ahead of Shador Sanders, especially in the 3rd round. That just seems more and more idiotic as we go along. That seemed to be justifying.
doesn't.
Yeah.
He draft based on ceilings. He saw Gabriel's ceiling and he saw a high ceiling. He saw a Shador ceiling and he saw basically a tiny home. And he realized that this guy's not going anywhere. I don't even know why they picked him, to be
Ralph,
honest with you.
You are
he should be
certifiably
in the CFL right
to say
now.
that
But
Shedeur
anyway.
Sanders' ceiling is less than
Absolutely.
Dylan Gabriel's.
It's not even close.
We've seen both Dylan Gabriel's ceiling and floor, and they are far closer to this little
Dylan
crevice.
Gabriel has so much more natural talent at a quarterback than Shedeur will ever have.
Very small sample size.
Very small sample. Well, not for Dylan Gabriel.
Well,
Well, spent
here-
17 years in this college football playoff system.
So we agreed a couple weeks ago that this last week's game was not going to determine Shedeur Sanders' ultimate future. Yeah, he's been named the starter for the rest of the season, if I understand correctly.
Yes.
But it's like,
You understand.
but it's like this next game, the game against the Bears in Chicago, in what appears to be ridiculously frigid weather, that I think is the real test for Shedeur Sanders this season. That's what I think. Do you agree or not? Do we still agree on that? Because we talked about it before, that this was the game that's going to determine whether he's
game?
the starter.
Against the
This
Bears.
week's game against the Bears.
Oh, okay.
Now, I realize they've already announced that Shedur's going to be the starter the rest of the season. Good for him. But if he does poorly this week, what's your excuse going to be?
If he does poorly, I mean, it always depends on how poor, what is the reason and rationale for how he performed
Fair
poorly.
enough.
Like if he throws 5 interceptions against that team, I'm not going to have a big leg to stand on, right? Like, I mean, but if he throws two picks against a team that is number one, I want to say, or close to the top in takeaways, how can I say that? Oh, yeah, but he won the game. You know, like he helped the team win the game against a team that we just heaped praise on, saying that they looked like a real contender, that they looked like they were available, and also a team altogether that has lost to these very Browns in the Packers.
So Scott the King is on the line, says, terribly cold weather in Chicago versus Browns. I wrote the betting preview on Cleveland.com this week. Take the under. Bears lead NFL in takeaways and interceptions.
Yeah, so
I think you're going to see 2 or 3 picks by Shedeur this week.
I honestly, that's why I keep going to 2. I think 2. If I'm being honest.
He's going to hold the ball too long.
I
He's
think-
going to make stupid sacks. He's going to make a dumb decision.
Yeah.
He's not, again, he did it against the Titans. You probably could do it against the Titans.
I mean, I am incredible.
For as much of a bandwagoner, as much as a apologist, as much as a butt kisser that Phil is for Shedeur Sanders, I do think he's being reasonable here. So I do respect that. I will say that.
Chief Skull says Shedeur deserves to sell life insurance with Rivers. And he also came back and said, wow, will sports really confirm a big leg? You did say you had a big leg. All right.
I do got a big dick.
Listen, I'll confirm that.
And Scott the King says, by the way, there's a Ted Nugent song called Weekend Warriors would make a good theme song. You know, we actually we thought about using that song when we first started this show 2.5 whatever years ago. And we didn't use it. It didn't fit really well.
It's been less than 2 years.
2
man.
years, a little bit less
2
than 2
years in
years.
February.
It fits
Yeah.
only in title.
It fits in title. It's a great song. I love Ted Nugent, but thank you, Scott.
I
All right.
like
Should
cat
we get into our
scratch humor.
picks?
Let's do it.
Are you guys done
I'm
with
trying
your-
to think. The Broncos Raiders game, a lot bigger of a blowout than 24-17 looks.
I agree.
Yeah, if you actually
And,
watch
hey, Scott, since you actually don't have a dog in this fight, I'd love to hear your professional analysis of Shedeur Sanders at this point. What do you think?
Yeah, that's fair.
What do you think you've seen so far,
Uh,
and what do you think his ceiling is?
Also, are either of you willing to go out on the limb and say the Chiefs dynasty is over, or because
I'm on that. I will
dynasty
I will
as a
take
whole is
that.
over?
I will take that. Yes.
I
The
would say
dynasty's
that after
over.
this week, I need to see them lose one more game.
I think the dynasty's over.
I think that the playoffs are over.
No, they're still in. They still have a shot. They could lose that this week.
The outrageous claim I want to get on. I think that the Texans might make it to the Super Bowl.
That's pretty outrageous.
That is pretty outrageous, right? But
Their defense
their
could definitely
defense
get in
is
there.
insane.
Yeah,
man.
but
and look at the playoff field that they're going to face.
that's a good point. I
And
mean,
CJ
the
Stroud
Patriots Texans in the AFC Championship game.
Their offense has been mediocre, and I think that with that defense, there are no holes in that defense. They're allowing just outrageously low stats. They're making every team that otherwise looks great just minuscule. Patrick Mahomes, I realize that offense is not what it once was historically, but even for that level, they are at historic
Can
lows.
CJ Stroud get you there?
I think
That's the scary
Trent
part.
Dilfer won a Super
No,
Bowl.
I get it.
Anything
I get
is
it.
possible with an awesome defense.
As good as that defense for the Texans is, I don't think it was that Ravens defense. That Ravens defense was out of this world. It's still a good defense, but it's not the Ravens.
But here's the thing. So you say this. Name me the team that you're like for sure is beating the
No,
Texans.
AFC is tough because there's no strong teams in the AFC.
Patriots.
Patriots are a paper
I'm not
champion.
even there yet. Jacksonville Jaguars. The Bills are the one team you'd think so, but of course
Yeah,
their defense does not match. And
this is the year that
I
the
agree.
Bills could surprise everybody.
Well, so
Because
they-
no
yeah,
one thinks
they're-
they will.
They're surprising me with how
All
bad
of a
they
sudden,
played
if
at
Josh
times.
Allen gets on a roll, they could run the table. Because think about who do they have to beat? The Jaguars? I think they could beat the Jaguars.
I know.
The Patriots, if you look at their wins, who have they beaten of any quality team? They haven't. They have a really weak schedule, right?
Were you talking
The
about
Broncos?
the Seahawks or the?
No, the Broncos. The Broncos I like and they're good, but I think they're very beatable.
I agree.
Right? The Steelers, no, they're just going to win the division and get in the playoffs.
This is a good year if you have a strong feeling about an AFC team to make it, because it's very hard to argue against.
The Bills could be that team. I don't know that they will be, but if you want to look at pure leaders, I like Josh Allen.
I'll turn it around on you, Ralph, and
Okay.
I think that this is the year, more so than any other year, that the Bills will have a lot of pressure to accomplish something, because there's
You think there's pressure on them?
There's so much less barriers to entry that they would otherwise face. What other year do you think coming up that they will not face, or at least have in the field to face Lamar Jackson, to face Patrick Mahomes,
Right.
to face like the best quarterback that they're probably going to face is Justin Herbert?
Yeah, and that's just such an on-off
I
team.
mean,
you just don't
Joe
know what
Burrow-
version you're going to get.
No Joe Burrow in the
Exactly.
playoff field, and then we have up and coming quarterbacks. Yeah,
AFC's wide open.
I agree.
I think the AFC is completely wide open. Anyone can be in the Super Bowl. I think the NFC, there's two teams, and that's it. It's the Rams or the Seahawks. There's no one else going to touch them. Those are the two best teams in the NFC, by far. And it's not even close.
But you
Packers.
know, hey, listen, the
No.
minute the Packers are probably that's a to me as a Packer fan, that's a stretch.
Yeah.
But you know
They
who still
scare
has
nobody.
who still has a mathematically 1% chance of making the playoffs in the NFC side?
Who's that?
The Minnesota Vikings. Chaos. They have to win out, and that's
the
not
Bucks
going
are
to
just
happen.
falling apart. So
Yeah,
I mean,
the Bucks are
they're
falling
done.
apart, right?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so let's get into our picks.
Yeah,
It's
picks.
time. We gotta-
Is it time for picks?
It has been a long
Do
time.
you have music for that, or are you just gonna we're just gonna wing it?
We have pick music.
We have pick music. Granicus, thank you very much.
All right.
That's the name of the artist, by the way.
Game number 1. Colts versus Seahawks. I think the Seahawks cheerleaders could win this game. This will be, in my opinion, a handoff fest for the Colts. They're going to try to establish a run against the best team against the run.
They're favored 13.5.
13.5 point favorite in Seattle.
Good grief.
I'll be honest. I don't even think that that's enough. Like even if we were going the line, I think I'm still picking Seahawks.
I think Sam Darnold's sitting out in the fourth quarter, maybe part of the third quarter. I don't know. We'll have to see, because I don't want to take anything away from the Colts defense. The Colts defense is still the Colts defense, and they're still going to play well.
It's mediocre, man.
But
They-
I
they
think the
were
problem with the
offensively
defense
driven.
is the offense is not going to be on the field long enough if Rivers is playing.
So
I don't
you
know
and
who plays if Rivers doesn't play.
Riley Leonard.
But his knee's hurt.
Or he might be able to play. So you and me are picking Seahawks. There's no way that
I don't know how you pick anybody else.
The only way that we could have an alternating opinion is this week. Neil, what have you brought?
I have a physical Magic 8 ball to make my picks. Now, historically, my 8-ball picks have been much more successful than my coin flip picks or my dice picks. So here we go. Magic 8 ball. Who will win this game? The Seahawks or the Colts? Colts are the road team, right?
Yes.
Will the home team win in Seahawks Colts? The answer is chances aren't good. I'm picking the Colts.
Wow, so you're on one.
That's
All
right.
That sucks.
I'm going with the Magic 8 balls. Not let me down yet.
All right, let's go to the next game. We got the Buffalo Bills at the New England Patriots.
Ooh, tough game.
Tough game, Phil. Why don't you start?
Oh, good. I'm so glad. I'm gonna go with. Oh, it's an early game too.
Yeah, and the Bills are a 1-point favorite.
That's crazy. I'm gonna go with the. Wow, this is so tough. I'm gonna go with the Patriots and not feel good. This really does feel like a coin flip game. Patriots are at home. They've already beaten the Bills. Bills need this if they want any shot at the division or possibly even the 1 seed. Let's go with the Patriots, though. I think that they're coming off an easy week. Let's go Patriots.
Magic 8 ball.
Oh, Magic 8 ball. Do you think that the Patriots will win at home against the Buffalo Bills? I can't say now. You have to say now. Chances aren't good. I'm picking the Buffalo Bills.
Wow.
One wonders if
That's
all
a
the
very
road
negative
teams-
8 ball.
Yeah.
Buffalo Bills. He's kind of gripey, kind of grumpy today.
So Bills have won 10 straight. They can clinch the AFC East with a win today.
I'd imagine so.
I think the Patriots haven't beaten anybody. I think they're a paper
They
lion.
beat these very Bills.
Yeah, I think they're a paper lion. I think they're one and done in the playoffs. I really do. I like the Bills. I'm taking the Bills in this game. I feel like they're starting to turn a corner and they're going to make that final run to be relevant in this year's, because this is the year. This is the chance for the Bills. There's no other team out there that's dominant in the AFC, and I think the Bills could be that team. And I'm going to trust Josh Allen. I'm going Bills.
Magic 8 ball.
All right, next game.
All right. Let's see what we got for the next game. We have the Packers of Green Bay at the Broncos of Denver. The Packers are a 2-point favorite,
Go,
Neil.
Pack, go. Well, here's the thing. I think the Broncos are a formidable opponent, and the fact that they are playing in Denver does have a factor into it. But again, this is not about me and my expert opinion on this game. It is about the wisdom of the Magic 8 ball. Oh, Magic 8 ball. Will the Denver Broncos beat the Green Bay Packers? No doubt about it. I'm picking the Broncos.
Wow.
Yeah.
Should we have a friendly wager between us now?
We can do that. Absolutely.
This is the rare year. That
No, here's
this
what I like to do.
happens,
You and I should go to Casey Jones, which is the Packer bar off on Bell Road. You and I will go there. We'll sit at a table. We'll watch the game. They're friendly to other teams' fans. We should go there and watch the game.
I might already have plans.
Okay. Anyway.
All right. So when you go to the dictionary and look up the word inconsistent, you know what you see? The Packers.
Oh, wow.
Right? They're the most inconsistent team. You never know what you're going to get with them. The good version of them is a pretty good team.
Are they like a box of chocolates?
Right. The bad version's really bad. I think the Broncos are a little bit more consistent than the Packers. Again, the Broncos are trying to find a way to maybe take a lead early and stay. This could be the game. I'm going to take the Broncos. I just trust them more than I trust the Packers. I just don't know who I'm getting with the Packers. I'm taking Broncos.
Are you okay? Are you having a stroke?
Of genius.
A
Let's
stroke
go with
of
the Broncos.
genius.
Let's go with the Broncos. I'm feeling it. Broncos coming off of a very just laissez-faire game. They didn't need to do much about the way of the Raiders. They got through it. Packers were playing for their lives back at Lambeau Field. They got fat and happy over beating the Bears yet again. Put all their efforts and eggs into that bat. It doesn't matter to the Packers to win this or not win this.
Doesn't matter.
Broncos need to win this in order to keep pace for the number 1 seed. Let's go to the Broncos.
All right. We're all on the Broncos. Scott the King's on text line says Sanders has a solid football IQ and can overcome what scouts criticized him about. I think he sticks as a quality starter.
Yeah, thank you. Very smart. There's
Scott.
a reason why he's the king.
Yeah. All right.
There was never a more patronizing comment in the history of this show than
Next
that.
game, we have the Lions, Detroit Lions at the LA Rams. Rams are a 6-point favorite in this game. Neil?
Oh, Magic 8 ball. Despite the fact that I think that this would actually be a very good contest, and if I were not picking the Magic 8 ball, I would pick the Rams. But, oh, Magic 8 ball. Will the Rams win at home versus the Detroit Rock City Lions? Oh, my gosh. Unlikely. I'm picking the Detroit Lions.
Wow.
Woo-hoo!
Phil?
That makes 2 of us. You know what? There's something to be said about the Detroit Lions having some extra time. Rams are coming off of a very dominating win. I think that the Detroit Lions off of a time where they are certainly the more desperate of the 2 teams. The Rams, I think, are more geared towards looking forward to a Seattle Seahawks game than the Detroit Lions, who again desperation on a short week are desperate to win this. I'm going to go Detroit Lions in indoors. Let's go Detroit.
I would like to see Detroit win this game, but I don't see it. I think the Rams win, but I do think the Lions cover. I think it's a close game. I think whenever you get Stafford and Goff together, you get a really good offensive game going.
Yeah. Revenge
I think this will be a fun game to watch, but I'm going to take the Rams in a very close game, probably a field goal game.
All right.
All right. Next, we've got the Chargers, formerly of San Diego.
San Diego.
The Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs are a 6-point favorite against the Chargers.
Why?
And they continue to be this huge home favorite, and they continue to not win.
Why?
So, Phil,
call me a sucker.
You're going to take the Chiefs?
I'm taking the Chiefs.
You're taking the Chefs?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Do either of you feel good about that Chargers win? If you're a Chargers fan, do you feel like, man, we beat those Eagles?
If I'm a fan,
I think they survived the Eagles. So I'm going to go with the Chiefs, whose slim playoff chances only exist by strictly beating the Chargers this week. Like, that is the only path forward. I will go with the Chiefs.
Scott the King came back and said, sheesh, I was just about to compliment Phil on his analysis.
Yeah. Either one. I love the King. I don't know why Neil said patronizing, to be honest
this
with you.
whole Scott Angle guy, I don't know.
I love Scott Angle.
I'm just kidding.
Give me some Angle.
That's the right angle.
That's like me saying, "Oh yeah, I know nothing." Yeah, right. That's like me criticizing a nuclear physicist about something. All right, exactly.
All right, Neil, what you got? Chiefs,
Magic
Chargers?
8-ball. Will the Kansas City Chiefs beat the the San Diego Superchargers? Hang on, we have a little technical difficulty here. Come on, you mofo, let's go. Cannot foretell now. Well, you don't get a chance to not do that. Hold on, guys. Sorry. Here we go. Yes, the Chiefs, despite my consternation, the Chiefs are going to win this game. So I'm picking the Chiefs.
I'm picking the Chargers. I'm off the Chief bandwagon. I just don't see it anymore. They just everybody keeps saying they got a big game this week. They got a must-win game, and they keep losing. They do. So how do you continue to keep picking the team that just keeps losing? I think they're starting to even believe that maybe their season's over. I don't know. It just doesn't look right. Mahomes doesn't look right. The whole flow doesn't look good. Andy Reid looks bored. I'm going to go Chargers. Now, they've been really inconsistent, but if the right version of the Chargers come out, which I think need to this week, they can take what they got in that comeback win. That was a good comeback win. It was a good win against the Eagles. They can take that energy, bring it into the Kansas City. I think they could beat the Chiefs. The Chiefs just aren't that scary anymore. They're a team that's definitely on the decline. Taylor Swift's album is doing terrible, and I feel great about it. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Chargers.
Why you got to take a shot at Taylor, man?
Because I can. And here's the game of the week in Phil's mind. We got the Browns at the Bears, and the Bears are a 7.5-point favorite over those Shadorable Browns.
Oh, they're so Shadorable.
I'm just going to I'll go first. Yeah, this is going to be ugly for Shador and for the Browns. I think the Bears win this game. They bounce back after that very tough loss last week. And they're looking toward that big game they have next week. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Bears in I think a pretty big win.
All right, I'll pick next.
Oh, you want to go?
Yeah, I'll go next because I want Phil to have his glory. That he's an expert football mind, apparently. So,
wow,
whatever. The Magic 8-ball. Oh, Magic 8-ball. Will the Chicago Bears beat the Shador Browns? Yes, I'm picking the Chicago Bears.
All right, Phil, make us sick.
This will be a brown-stained game for the Bears.
Wow.
To where I think the Browns accomplish everything that they need to accomplish this week. They need to make Shador Sanders look good. That's
impossible.
They need to shut and stymie down the Bears offense that has looked inconsistent at best.
Stymie from the Little Rascals.
And they need to lose. I think that they will accomplish all their goals this week because the Browns desire very much to have a high pick to trade down so that way that let's be honest, nobody wants this quarterback who's talking about like, let's go get some glue guys. Like whenever we go gel together, we're the best team ever, and then let's go. Nobody wants Mendoza.
I love when he does that.
Isn't it great? I love that. But nobody actually wants him as a quarterback. They'll take another year Shador Sanders, who's making nothing as a fifth round option over there as a quarterback. They'd rather trade down and acquire more picks and make a strong, sturdy team around him. They're going to lose, but it will be a Shadorable little spread. Sprinkle money.
So
on
Shadorable.
side of it. Yeah. Let's go Bears.
Okay, I got Bears in here.
We got Bears.
Chief Skubal is saying the Minnesota Vikings will miss the playoffs. Just miss the playoffs. They haven't found their groove.
Yeah,
they don't have a groove.
They have to win
They're off the
outright.
dance floor.
Yeah, they have to win outright and get a ton of help. They're not going to win outright.
Shannon Stewart wants to know what your Magic 8-ball have to say about the Suns'
no, he didn't
playoff
say
chance.
that.
I didn't want to say what he said.
He said Magic Tampon. We're going to call him out for that. What does my Magic Tampon say about the Suns' playoff chances? Oh, Magic 8-ball. What are the Suns' chances of making the playoffs? Or let me just put it this way. Will they make the playoffs? How's that? Here we go. Magic 8-ball. Will the Phoenix Suns, make the playoffs? prospect good. So according to my magic tampon, they're gonna make the playoffs. So there you go, Shannon. Took care of that for you. Anytime you have a question for the Magic 8 Ball, you just let me know. All right. So I have my parlay, and I decided this time on my DraftKings parlay to not do money line. I am actually doing spread. So I have
like a good spread.
Yeah, we have a spread. So I've got Lions +6, Broncos +2.5. I've got Colts +13.5. That feels like an easy one. I've got Bills -1.5. I have Chiefs -6. That one I'm the most nervous about. The Bears are -7.5. I think it's going to be worse.
I knew all the games of the week. I just forgot which game was Sunday Night Football.
It is the
Vikings at Cowboys.
You think they would have flexed that out, right?
Oh my God!
Yeah,
Vikings at Cowboys.
Who wants to watch that?
Can we do this? Since the next Thursday is the game of the year.
Next Thursday?
It's the Rams at the Seahawks on Thursday night.
I can't believe that's.
Let's talk about that game.
Yeah,
real quick.
because we'll be
'Cause we're
done.
not gonna- we're not gonna be able to talk about it next week, except for maybe the aftermath. But what do you see in that game? This is a big game for Seattle, right? I think Seattle. I mean, especially for Sam Darnold, he needs to beat a team like this, right? This is a big deal. I mean, I think if you lose this game as a Seahawk, I mean, I think it hurts. The year you're having is fantastic. If you can put this feather in your cap and win this game, I think number one, you're the number one seed going into the final 2 weeks of the season. We have the Panthers and you have the Niners, but I think you take that level of confidence to the next level, right? It goes to that next level, in my opinion. Can they do it? Do you think Seattle with Sam Darnold can take down the mighty Rams next week, or are they not there yet?
No, they're not there.
They're not there. Why are they not there?
Their best win this year is either a Texans team that you seemingly don't believe in, over a Davis Mills led Texans, or Pittsburgh Steelers. You look at the rest of their schedule; it's a bunch of nobodies.
Okay.
It is just, as well as Sam Darnold, like a lot of quarterbacks, just has either mismatches by stylistically who he faces, and he's never faced the Rams very well. One could argue that that's a Sean McVay thing. One could just even say that they know how to pressure him properly. And he is a quarterback that does not do well when blitzed in an appropriate fashion, and you have confusing schemes and everything else. When everything's going well and he's able to have time to diagnose the problem, even be able to manufacture some extra time and do what have you, sure, he's a stellar quarterback. He has the tangibles, intangibles, all that. Where he breaks down is something of which the Rams have a tremendous advantage of, which is front four pressure without needing to blitz and offering more time and coverage for the guys to get home. And so Sam Darnold, I think stylistically does not do well in this matchup. I think also having it on a short week, on a week that both teams, I think, have the affordability to lose. Well, not lose, but win, or on the part of the Rams, win or lose, and just focus on the game next week, because that's really all that matters. That's an affordability that allows the Rams to play well this upcoming Thursday and take this game with knowing of the importance, with sweeping the divisional series between the two. I would pick the Rams. I would feel comfortable picking the Rams. And yes, it's a big game. And I don't think it speaks ill of the Seahawks necessarily. I just think it's a year.
You just don't think they're there yet.
I just don't think they're there yet.
So are you saying that Sam Darnold is perhaps not an elite quarterback yet?
I would dare say yes.
I see. Because there's disagreement in this room here.
I guess
because
too,
clearly in this studio, because clearly Ralph Romano believes that Sam Darnold is an elite quarterback. So
what is elite? Because he's not a top 5 quarterback, and I don't even think
he is this year. Look at his numbers. Do it. Walk off.
Listen. Here's my thing. So here's a question for you fans. That from my perspective, here's the deal.
Awesome.
Top 5?
Is
Are you high?
Sometimes
is Ralph Romano as delusional about Sam Darnold as Philip is about Shedeur Sanders? That's what I want to know.
No, that's a really good question.
I think so. Which one of you is more delusional about your favorite quarterback?
I've maintained Shedeur Sanders at his best is like a Kirk Cousins of yesteryear, where he'll be just an average quarterback, and the fact that he's not seen as a viable starting quarterback is absurd. Where you just went top 5 quarterback, are you? I might just have to take off next week's show because of this.
He's 6.
Well, at least he conceded he's not top 5 technically. I don't know, man. I'll tell you what. Listen. The delusion in this room right now on both sides is beautiful.
It disrupted my mindset. So I had a whole rest of a conversation to be had.
Well,
but the fact that we couldn't even agree on the basis of lunacy.
He's 6th in completion percentage. He's 6th in yards. I mean, he's having a good year. He's 5th. He tied for 5th in touchdowns. I mean, he's not having a bad year.
Yeah, because he's blowing up these bad teams. He's blowing up the Cardinals. He's blowing up the Commanders without Jaden Daniels.
Okay, but let's do this.
He's blowing up the
You
Saints.
said the Seahawks aren't ready, but I always go back to the loss against the Rams, where Darnold had his worst game of the year. 4 turnovers for the Seahawks. Yet they were kicking a field goal to win that game. Now, if you're the Rams, are you looking at that going, man, as bad as those guys played, they had us. They could have beat us. Where if you're a Seahawk going, as bad as we played, we're not doing that again. We're going to take these guys down. Advantage Seahawks in that loss.
No.
Chief Skull says, I'm with Phil. Ralph is beyond microdosing.
Speaking on behalf of Chief Skull, the Minnesota Vikings look like the better team the time that they played the Seattle Seahawks. But what was their problem? Quarterback. So
they got shut out.
I know. And
that's not a good example.
But they
Phil.
were very
Sorry,
impressive. They were very impressive defensively that they were able to hold them down for like 3 quarters because the offense did nothing in that.
Voice of reason. Scott the King.
Yes.
He's a Seahawk. He's a Big 12. We're both Big 12s. He says, to much of my pain, Darnold is not elite. He'll have the chance to prove otherwise from here through the playoffs. 100% agree. If from here on, the Seahawks don't lose another game, which is very possible.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Including a playoff run. Will you then step back and say, okay, this guy was elite this year?
That's really tough.
I think this is a great way to end the show. I think.
I mean, come on.
I really do.
Yeah.
Let's blast that music without any kind of lead in.
Sam Darnold is lifting above his head a Lombardi trophy, and it's not the team pulling him along like a squeaky dolly that needs oil. Then yeah, I'd almost have to be relenting and say, I guess he is elite.
I planted my flag last week. I said flag.
It was real close.
I said that if the Seahawks get the number 1 seed in the NFC, which is very possible.
Yes. They
control their destiny. They will win the Super Bowl.
Okay.
This is the second best Seahawk team ever.
This sounds like an Arrowhead grill dinner.
Second best Seahawk team ever, Scott. That's what I think.
Seattle Sioux.
All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Our time is up. We will see you again next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. It is the Weekend Warriors. Have a great weekend.
Where's your ayahuasca, Ralph?